It's Wednesday. You know what that means.
I'm better than you, and you know it.
You fucking mark.
Listen, I get it. Calm down, bro.
Oh, yes. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Sports Jedi Network here on a Thursday afternoon live for your AEW Forbidden Door preview. I am your host, PGH Chris, and today we talk about this very uninteresting Forbidden Door between CMLL, Stardom, AEW, and New Japan. Before we get into the shows, before I introduce to you my panel, Sports Jedi Network is, of course, sponsored by Dude Wipes. Use our promo code TEXTDUDE2259. Okay, put that thing up. 59463, and we'll send you a code for 20% off your order. Dude Wipes and the Sports Jedi Network, always wiping out the competition, as well as Blackout Coffee. Make sure you go to Blackout Coffee. Use your promo codes Rumble or Sports Jedi 20. Save yourself 20% off your order at blackoutcoffee.com. You want your nice morning coffee to get you ready for all the wrestling, especially we have Sunday. Sunday's a lot of wrestling, but if you don't want coffee, you guys can go to G Fuel Energy. Use my promo code PGH Chris. Save you 20% off your next fuel order. Guys, I said I wasn't alone. I want to introduce to you guys my panel. Let's start off with my other half of the Dynamite Bro, Hoss Knucklebrew. Hoss, we said yesterday we were going to save a lot of the Forbidden Door talk for today. We know why. We're going to get to why in a second. But how are you on this Thursday afternoon? Are you ready to talk 2 days in a row AEW? Yay!
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm currently putting the screws on the hinges of my doors because we have to make sure our doors are ajar for Sunday. So yes, I'm checking all of my doors, make sure nothing is forbidden. But yes, let's get at their AEW. Let's see what New Japan, CMLL, and Stardom have in store for us. And it should be an interesting show. Glad for everyone to be here.
I'm also glad for everyone to be here. And I'm also glad for our next guest, Marie Shadows. You guys can check her out on Instagram, Squared Circle Podcast, and her tape studies. Follow her on Instagram, marieshadows.scp. Marie Shadows. Now,
yeah,
I talked a lot about you. First off, how are you? But I talked a lot about you the last few days, and I'm really happy you're on. Our audience has been waiting. We need your help with this freaking card. I mean, there's no other way to put it. But first off, how are you? And thank you so much for joining us here on a Thursday afternoon.
I'm doing good. I definitely want some laughs on this preview of Forbidden Door because it's really not a Forbidden Door anymore. But you called the right person because I used to be dubbed the professor of New Japan Pro Wrestling. So we're definitely going to walk through that Forbidden Door and definitely talk about it. But I'm glad that I am here and chilling with you guys.
Yes, we are also happy. And ladies and gentlemen, you guys know, shout out to our guy, our producer, our founder for tonight's show, Kev. He is back there. You guys will hear all the cool sounds courtesy of Kev. So let's get into this preview here for the Forbidden Door. I want to start off with this before we actually dive into who these people are, why they're having this match, yada yada. Before we get into the actual card, I do want to talk a little bit about the Forbidden Door concept itself, because when I look at the Forbidden Door, especially those first 2 years, and I know we talked a little bit about this off air, and I'm going to dive a little bit more into it now, where in 2022, when they really first did this concept, I mean, you had a legit Forbidden Door. I mean, the main event, I believe, was Tanahashi and Moxley. You had that great fatal four-way with Jay White, Hangman, Okada, and Adam Cole. All the tag teams meant something. I think it was Jeff Cobb and whoever his tag team partner was at the time, FTR, and there was another group. And then the year after, you have Kenny Omega versus Ospreay. You have Danielson and Okada, MJF and Tanahashi. Again, I'm bringing those up because where has the ball dropped in 2026? Why are we at the point now where this card does not feel forbidden? Tony Khan still doesn't not still, because I think he did a great job of it, and specifically those 2 Forbidden Doors I'm talking about. But the last few years, especially this year, it's like he does nothing to tell us, the American audience who does not watch New Japan, who the hell these people are. He expects us to go, and like Haas said yesterday on our review show, he expects us to do our homework to figure out why this certain person is interjecting in AEW to go after this certain person. Maurice Shadows, I want to ask you this first. Where has this concept, where has this Forbidden Door partnership, New Japan, AEW, where did it go wrong? Because again, I just named some great matches and some great stories, and now we got none of that. There's a lot of drama going on behind the scenes. Maurice Shadows, what happened? What happened to this pay-per-view that was once enjoyable?
So basically, we could look to the change of management. So when the first ever AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I think they had CMLL at the time for like the first Forbidden Door, we had a different president for New Japan Pro Wrestling that believed in dream matches the same way that Tony Khan believed in dream matches. So they had that president, and even before Tony Khan signing up all of the major stars for New Japan Pro Wrestling, that's why it felt big. It felt like a really good concept. It felt like a win for AEW because at the time WWE wasn't trying to do big spectacle events where it's like my promotion versus your promotion in a way. So it started there where it was like, oh, this is fantastic. This is awesome. This is great. But then as the years went on and like, you know, of course, someone in the comment section, whether it's going to be live or on the VOD, is going to talk about the Japanese economy. I'm going to let you know right now, please stop using that as a crutch. I've been hearing that for all past 6 to 7 years. Stop using it as a crutch, because every single time a nation has economic issues, money rises and falls. And I always say that, like, for 3 months, you could be doing well in your money. And then like for 6 months out of the year, you could be at your lowest of the points. Money is going to rise and fall the same way as Japan. And with their yen, if you want to believe what they say, that the yen is down and like, you know, the companies are not doing this, the companies are not doing that. That's why Tony Khan brought the wrestlers to go over to AEW. That's when it started to dwindle down and no longer became about dream matches, and it became about how can you survive. But then again, if you teach yourself how to survive with the money that you're given and do investments, you'll be fine and you can still have the dream matches. But that's the timeline. We had dream matches in the beginning. Somewhere along the line, it was like, believe the supposed Twitter economics out there and whatnot. And then now we have most stars going over to AEW, and now New Japan has nothing.
Yeah, before I get to Haas, it's like, Marie, when you took notice of that a little bit, when at least for me, when I saw reports, it was, okay, this person's contract's coming up from New Japan. Am I wrong to think, okay, this guy's coming to AEW? Because they already had their partnership. Maybe, you know, I think of it a little bit like the TNA and WWE partnership. Not to compare, because I don't like doing that. We are talking about AEW, New Japan, but bear with me, because a lot of the fans have the perception of TNA is going to be a pipeline for WWE. When I saw, I think it was Ospreay the first one to go. Who was the first major player?
It should have either been Jay White or like Okada, Jay
White, right? I think it was Jay White.
Yeah.
Because I think he came around after that Forbidden Door, the 2023. So, okay, like Jay White comes in. Marie, to me, I'm thinking once all these New Japan guys' contracts are coming up, they're coming to AEW. That's when I felt like, okay, New Japan's maybe going to be a pipeline for AEW. And it's easier for those guys and girls to come over here, especially because it's like, well, they want the American exposure. They want the what comes over here. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It definitely does. I agree with you with that. And also it's easier too, and it's money. And I understand that this business is money. I understand that, but don't be so obvious and don't be flaunting it as if like that's the only thing that matters, rather than the 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 passion and the reason why you got into wrestling. Like, we all know you have to make money. It's to survive, but at least put that towards the back, and like the front, make us believe that you're here for the entertainment. You're here for, telling the story. So that way I don't have to be like, oh, you're just here for the money and that's all it is. Like if I went up to you to be like, let me shake your hand, it's not going to feel genuine. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. It's for money purposes, but don't be so obvious, wrestlers.
I agree. Let me throw it over to Haas, because I know you, when you first started watching the Forbidden Door, again, Marie threw a lot at us there on why the concept maybe has not been working from your point of view, especially now when you see these companies working together. What do you think of this just entire Forbidden Door, the partnership with AEW, New Japan, just based off what you've seen, heard? Haas Knuckle Brew, I'm gonna give you the floor, brother. What do you think about this?
Well, with the Forbidden Door, it's supposed to be an exhibition of talent, pretty much. And when it comes to it, AEW, they fail at presenting it. Like, they know everyone is thirsty for the graps and for the wrestling, and that can only get you so far. It's all about presentation, and and how you're going to deliver it. Now, the talent don't fail you. They do their jobs. It's all about the booking and the people who are presenting it. And it seems like Tony Khan, he gets very overzealous with his booking, and he might even override what New Japan or what Stardom and what CMLL have in store for the exhibition. And the big thing is when you try to make these title matches and they become kind of predictable, because a lot of us can be like, Tony Khan's not going to let his company lose their belts to Stardom. It's just using as an example. Like, we have Tekla versus Starlight Kid on Sunday. A lot of people do not see Starlight Kid winning that match. I know we're going to talk about it, but you when you put the AEW Women's Championship on the line for that belt, for that bout, it kind of sways which way you're going to go. If this was a non-title match, it could be 50-50 booking, because and with an exhibition, this is where 50-50 booking works. 50-50 booking never really works for weekly television or for pay-per-views, but this is a special case, and this should that's the best way to put it. You should be able to present all parties involved in a good light. So hopefully they get this going and they get it correct this time around. But it kind of lost its luster. So I see where both of you coming from with this.
Yeah, and I agree with Haas 100%, because this, to me, what a Forbidden Door means in wrestling, at least, it's like you take the best of the best of each company being represented and you just showcase. And this just proves that when people say win and losses don't matter in wrestling, I think that's not necessarily 100% true. And these kind of Forbidden Doors concepts, guys, that proves why. That proves why. I want to give a shout out to Jeff Littman, who's in the comments section. You guys can check him out on Mondays with Mr. Thomas when they cover MLW. Guys, nobody's covering MLW right now. I don't see people covering it. Jeff and Mr. Thomas do an incredible job. And I'm not saying this, again, I said this on Twitter and I'm going to say it again. I'm not saying this because they're, with us. Those two generally are the best MLW guys I've seen. I mean, one of them. Marie Shadows, you're on that list too. I don't want to offend.
Yeah. No. I was gonna add on to what you were saying too. That Dos Evo is the best co-host I ever had. Like the best. He's one of the best co-hosts I ever had. But I'm glad that him and Mr. Thomas are continuing to talk about MLW on the Sports Jedi Network. I'll get back to talking about MLW too, but Dos Evo is like
maybe a Marie Shadows appearance here and there sometimes, huh?
Maybe. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
Who knows? But before we get into the preview of the card, I want to give a shout out to some of the people in the chat. I want to give a shout out to Mets. Thank you so much, brother, for joining. Congratulations about your New York Knicks. You guys are world champions. I hope this is a show that you're very interested in because you also know a lot of the Japanese stuff. So thank you for joining, brother. We appreciate it, as well as Christina Faulkner, C3N. Thank you for watching myself, Marie, and Haas here on a Thursday afternoon to talk some Forbidden Door. But yeah, let's talk about the card because Marie, I don't know how much AEW you've been watching.
Nothing.
And I don't blame you. And
listen, I'll be honest with you, Chris. Every time that I see you either go live or I watch the clips or whatever of you, I'm like, bless your heart, man. You either need a raise or something. I don't know how you do it.
Go watch the stream from yesterday, and you'll see how
I don't know how you do it.
I don't know, Hoss. How do we do it, brother?
It's for the love of the game. It's
for the love of the game.
I guess.
It's a struggle.
It's
a struggle. The best way I put it last night: good elite wrestling, bad television. That's just the best way I can put it.
Amen. Amen. All right, let's talk about a little bit here of the card. We'll go into the one buy-in match that I've seen announced. But before we talk about the buy-in, it was announced this morning, guys. The Inspiration. I'm going to give the floor to Haas because we talked about this yesterday. I brought it up. It was I'd rather see the Inspiration on my TV than some of the matches that we got yesterday with the women. And they're now hosting the Forbidden Door. Haas, Marie, these two are going to inspire me to turn the TV off.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
That is my favorite sound that's the sound of the year for me. On AEW's, that's my favorite sound.
Tony Khan heard you, Chris. He said, your wish is my command.
He watched our stream yesterday.
There you go. We know the AEW people are watching. We know this. So thank you for giving us a look. But yes, the Inspiration is here. It seems like they're trying to perk up the eyes of the male demographic, possibly. That's where they're going. That's the only way I see this is going. And they I'm going to compare this to Cardi B at SummerSlam last year. You did not. Cardi B said about 5 words and got up out of there on both nights. And they played up her hosting SummerSlam like it was just going to be something big spectacle. Like she might even take a bump. Oh, nothing happened. The Inspiration. They may take a bump. You probably won't care. We may not even see it. But hopefully it does something for the pay-per-view buys.
I need to give you a big flag on the play. First off, timeout. There is a flag. Hoss Knuckle Brew, Sports Jedi. Listen, I understand your comparison. But you are comparing Cardi B to the Inspiration. Cardi B, who is probably the most popular female rapper in the last decade. I mean, she didn't even get anybody wanting to. Did her, Marie Shadows and Haas, and anybody in the chat, did Cardi B get you guys interested on watching SummerSlam? Get you any more excited?
Not a chance.
I mean, I don't like Cardi B, but I have no comment in this. So Haas is right. I have no comment in this. I have no comment in this.
Well, let's use it. I'll use another one. When they said John Cena was going to come host WrestleMania to get the buys up, to get the tickets up, didn't it do anything for you? It's just like, hey, WrestleMania is going to be out of this world.
Haas is still right. No matter what analogy he uses, that's why I have no comment on this.
So using host. Oh, you're hosting this event, this PLE or pay-per-view. It does nothing for the people at home. Maybe for the people that actually are there physically, maybe. Yes. But if you're at home watching this, it does nothing for you.
It does nothing for me either. It does nothing.
The comment in Dos Evil's comment.
Oh, Cardi B is mine.
It's my next ex-wife.
Dude, she's probably good. I mean, she's already she's already divorced like 3 or 4 times. So maybe got a chance, brother. She'll fit into that. But let's talk a little bit about here. Real quick buy-in match. I think there was another buy-in match that I saw, but we're gonna have the Divine Dominion, Megan Bayne and Lana Cross versus Thunder Rosa and Olympia. I guess she is from CMLL. Marie Shadows, do you know anything about Olympia? That's all I want to ask you.
No, I do not know because I do not watch CMML. I'd rather watch AAA over CMML. That's just me.
I look, CMLL I think is phenomenal, but there's no, and to me the stories are better right now in AAA. That's how I like, the CMLL, if I want graps, which I don't want to watch it because I'm stuck watching Wednesdays with too many graps. No thanks. Hoss, what do you think about go ahead, Marie. No, go ahead, Marie. My bad.
No. I was just going to mention that every time that, listen, this is not going to be a slight towards like MOW. I realize that they also have a partnership with CMML, and they bring in guys like, I love MYSTIQUE, I love Templario. Like, they're great wrestlers. They're awesome. However, sometimes whenever me and Dos Evil were to review MOW, we would come to like luchador matches, and I would just be like, guys, first of all, I'm half Spanish. Do not get me on the correction of saying these guys' names. But most of the time when we went over the lucha matches, I was like, I don't know what else to tell you guys. Like, I'm not really interested in it. So like, I don't really keep up with CMML like that, but I'll keep up with AAA because I can understand it better versus like me going in blind to watch CMLL. So I just wanted to add that on there.
Hoss, I agree with Marie because again, Olympia coming from CMLL to be in this match, we have seen nothing of her. Not even the only CMLL person we've really seen is Persephone on the women's side. Why is this match happening, and what's going on, Hoss?
Okay, I can say this. I've seen Olympia once in my life. This past they had the Amazonas pay-per-view. I watched it because Persephone was going against Mercedes Moné for the CMLL women's title, and on this card, it was an all-woman card. So in Olympia, she had a match with I can't name the other lady she was having a match with. I want to say she was in there with La Catalina. I can't remember, but she's physically impressive, very strong-looking woman. She kind of gives me Jordan Grace physique vibes, very in the words of the sickos and big wrestling, the muscle mommy vibe. I hate that term, but that's what they call them. So yeah, she comes off like that, very, very muscular. So she's physically impressive. So I can't say I'm not coming in blind on this one. She can wrestle and she looks the part.
Well, I'm gonna have to find out because if at a first glance, she just looks like a female Blue Panther. This looks like Blue Panther with a female as a girl. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. The mask is the exact.
Oh my god.
Same. The mask looks the exact same, guys. I'm gonna call her female Panther.
Oh, she probably is, man. Oh my god. It's just I'm getting memories back of talking about Blue Panther matches with Dos Evil for MOW, and half the time I'm just like, this guy is moving so old, but he's such a legend in the game, and I'm like, I don't really know too much about you, but you brought back some shit.
I feel. I mean, he's not as bad as Tomohiro Ishii. I think he's the worst wrestler I've ever seen.
Listen. I used
you know what to do.
What does he have?
Get that bum on here. There we go.
Listen,
get that bum on here. This guy
oh my
is
god,
terrible. He's the New Japan version of Blue Panther.
All right, you know what? I can't argue with that because I used to defend Ishii and I used to really like put him over really, really well in terms of like kayfabe. But now that you say that, and now that he has become just a money mark for himself, and yeah, okay, I'm not defending it anymore.
I'm gonna come out there to save Orange Cassidy. Oh my god! All right, let's talk about the Forbidden Door, shall we? I'm gonna start off with this match because when I've heard of this guy before. But this was another who. You guys see the Forbidden Door card popped up there. These are the matches we are getting for tomorrow, or excuse me, for Saturday or Sunday. Excuse me, we're only in Thursday. Sunday night. Guys, we got 4 pay-per-views this week, so I apologize. My head's all over the place. Pac versus Sata Unanino.
No, wait. Can you not butcher his name? It's Shota Umino.
Shota Umino versus Pac for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship.
I'm probably gonna have to take over from here because tell you the whole entire story and the lore.
How, Marie Shadows, how does this match have anything to do with each other? Why is this match happening? Pac versus Unamo. I'm gonna give you the floor before me and Haas kind of piggyback of what you're telling us.
Okay, so Shota Umino, the only connection that Pac has with fighting Shota Umino, which was a really bad decision in my opinion, is Moxley. Because Moxley took Shota Umino, who is the son to Red Shoes in New Japan Pro Wrestling, who was a referee. Back in the day, he basically, John Moxley took Shota Umino under his wing when he was a young lion and to show him the ropes, right? And then later on, I believe that Shota Umino graduated from being a young lion and into his own person. However, he had like the early sort of unaffiliated Death Riders sort of gimmick with him, right? And then Shota Umino was taking this like leather jacket that had like roughneck on it because John Moxley couldn't pronounce his name either. So he called him Shooter, and then he also called him Roughneck. So basically, Shota Umino would take the Death Rider moniker all the way through, and then Moxley was not paying attention to him, so Moxley abandoned his ass. And Shota Umino kept calling out. It's like the last Forbidden Door with Wrestle Dynasty and whatnot. Like he wanted to fight John Moxley, but they gave him Claudio Castagnoli, and nothing really came from that. Shota Umino also had like a mental breakdown because he was in the middle of, should I be a Moxley or should I be a Tanahashi? Because the women and children like loved him for being like a Tanahashi part 2, but the men hated him because he got the women and children cheering for him. So he was in this place of like, what the fuck do I do? So he had a match with the Great Okan from the United Empire. He lost that match. He shaved his head so that way he could create a new character, a second chance kind of character. And then New Japan was like, nah, man, we need you to go back to being Shota Umino, be the babyface. Let's drop this second chance character you have. And then he drops it. He doesn't talk anything. He doesn't say anything about Moxley anymore until he wins the IWGP Global Championship title out of that 3-way with Andrade and Drilla Maloney. And then here comes Gabe Kidd for Gabe Kidd to be like, Shota, you were never in Death Riders. Motherfucker, he never said he was. He was just unaffiliated, but Moxley is his fucking mentor. And then you just came in out of nowhere to the Death Riders too. You have no fucking say, Gabe Kidd. Like that motherfucker. Anyway. So, after that happened, here comes Pac to be like, Shota, you need to, reclaim your honor. What fucking honor is Shota gonna reclaim when he like basically forgot about you guys after New Japan was like, yeah, just go back to being a babyface. So this is how we fucking got here. For Shota Umino to be fighting Pac for what Mets 2128 said, identity crisis. That is a crash course history, and I have been covering that, and I have a specific podcast episode on the Square Circle podcast that talks about his whole entire identity crisis. So whenever AEW wrestlers want to rewrite the history, nah, you got me to tell you the right history of what's happening in kayfabe.
Hoss, why can't they say or mention anything Marie Shadows just told us in the last few minutes? Hoss, we have not seen anything between this. When you look at this match, we've been covering this show every Wednesday night for the last 4 weeks since this freaking card has been promoted or announced. When have we heard of any of this?
None of it. You heard him. None of it.
This is why you got to support me, because I'll be telling you the whole entire truth and giving you week by week breakdown of what's happening between New Japan and AEW. Supposedly, I don't really watch AEW, but I try to give you the fair and honest balance. And I don't mean to cut you guys off and go in, but like shit, like this is why we get upset at AEW for not introducing these packages when you have enough time to introduce promo packages to do the whole entire story. If not, hire me. I'll fucking do it for you for free because I really don't want a paycheck from AEW. But then again, my fucking New Yorker side is coming out, so let me shut up.
I think if Tony would write you a good paycheck,
He would.
I think we talk. I think you'd be interested in talking a little bit more.
I would. I would, but I think I'll just be a little more greedy. But let me shut up. My New Yorker side is coming out.
No, I mean, Hosk, please get what do you got, man? Because she's right. They have enough time to give us 8 freaking match after match after match after match last night, but they can't give us 5 to 7 minutes of anything Marie just got done telling us on why these two are having the match.
See, this is what I said yesterday. AEW has too much dip on their chip. Tony Khan really thinks everyone is just this wrestling mark that doesn't watch anything else but wrestling, and we follow nothing else in the world. The thing is, people have diversity of thought. We're actually following different things. We're watching the World Cup. We might be watching the NBA, might be watching hockey, etc. This is where the E part of AEW comes out, the elitism. Everybody thinks you know everything about what's going on across the water. And if it wasn't for Marie, I wouldn't know how to say this guy's name. I wouldn't know nothing of this backstory. So shout out to her, because AEW does a terrible job of this. Yeah, they do a terrible job of letting people know who people are and how stories are developing, because for some reason Tony Khan loves to interject what New Japan has going on W, and they said, "Oh, well, if you're watching them, you're watching us. You know exactly what's going on." I'm truth be told, I'm not watching New Japan. An example, and this is not nothing against New Japan. I know myself. I watch a lot of wrestling here in America. I follow a lot of it here. So just to pick up another promotion, it's a lot, but I made maybe. But the biggest, here's an example. This whole Will Ospreay escapade is going on now. They had Will Ospreay go fight with the United Empire.
Oh, dude, no.
They talked about it on Collision, and they expected us to actually go watch New Japan and follow, like, to be continued on New Japan. Are you serious? So you're gonna make us go get another streaming service to continue a story that supposedly started in AEW. Now it's going to be continued in New Japan. See, this is what AEW does to us, Marie. It confuses people.
I have a whole entire document series on the United Empire, their beginning, their fall, them picking up the pieces, the whole rewrite shit with Kyle Fletcher being like, I'm gonna start this feud with Will Ospreay, and I'm like, why are you rewriting the history? AEW muddies really good storytelling, even though United Empire fell because of Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis, but Kyle Fletcher mainly. He was the main domino effect that started everything else. And then Will Ospreay left, and then we had the dirty laundry episode between Jeff Cobb and TJP and TJP's wife. And then after that, everything fell apart. They gave it to Callum Newman when they shouldn't have, because the Great O'Con should have been like the fucking leader, but he doesn't want to be a leader apparently. And then they gave it to Callum Newman, and I still think the United Empire is still falling apart. Aaron Henare gets excused from all of my criticism because I love that guy. But yeah, and then Will Ospreay comes back. But bro, you fucking left the United Empire in shambles and you want to come back? Nah, I would have been like, nah, you left us, buddy. Like, you're not here to pick up the pieces. And I don't mean to get ahead of this, but Will Ospreay should have never called out Tsuji to try to face him for the championship title, while he also has a championship title holding it with the United Empire. He's a trios champ with the United Empire, and he wants to call out Tsuji to be a double champion, and then be like, Tsuji, you're not being a fighting champion. How dare you come fight me? And then rewriting his own history. Listen. I made videos on this too, where I'm like, you guys have to stop doing this shit. This is not how you build hype for the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. It's not hype. It's high school shit. Why are you getting online to try to start a fight and then start to fight other fans to try to be like, oh, I don't like when you guys say that AEW don't send their talent over to New Japan Pro Wrestling. Like, Ospreay, put the fucking phone down. Go enjoy your life. You just got married. Stop fucking arguing with fans and stop trying to tell Suji what to do when you decided to sign your AEW contract while you were still under New Japan contract. And that's why you and United Empire lost the cage match against the War Dogs. Don't fucking rewrite history. This is why I'm here.
I watched that match. I was a big United Empire guy during that time. This is when I was actually watching New Japan just slightly.
Yeah.
I think, and this sucks, because Marie, I was watching New Japan when AEW and them weren't like a thing, like when they weren't working together. I think and everyone knows I'm super AEW fan. It's like AEW kind of ruined my watching for New Japan in a way, because, and I remember what you're talking about. It's when we first saw the United Empire, it was originally Mark Davis, Kyle Fletcher, and Will Ospreay. Those were the three that we saw on introduced to the AEW audience. Those were the three United Empire guys. Yeah. They had their feud with the Elite. It was supposed to be United Empire versus Elite. And then that's what eventually happened with Kenny Omega and Ospreay. So they got something out of them coming to AEW. But again, as an AEW fan who might not have checked all that stuff out, it's like do, like Haas says, they do nothing on implicating that to AEW TV. They really don't. There's a lot of story there. There's a lot of story.
There is. There totally is. But yeah, we could go on to the next match. It's just that some stuff in AEW just irks me, and like, you know, it's okay to ask for a better product. It's okay to observe and talk about what you see rather than what you want to hear and what you want to feel, because those are two like different things. But if you can observe and you're like, wait a minute, there's missing pieces here. I don't know why people in their mind doesn't go off like, hey, that doesn't really make sense. We're missing a part of the story, because you want to be immersed into it. If you, like I said this all the time throughout the 6 years of covering this stuff, if you just want to see professional wrestling where it's a headlock, an arm drag, wrist lock, headlock takeover, even though they don't do that anymore, if you want to see wrestling, go support your local wrestling promotion in your state for $10 to $20. Because when you get on TV and national TV, you got to start thinking about entertainment wise. You got to start thinking about how you're going to bring people in, how you're going to keep people captivated when there's a billion other streams going on and a billion other things going on. Like, you have to keep them captivated. If you don't want to be captivated, go support your local indie. I'm going to say restaurant. Oh my God. Your local indie promotion for like $10 to $20.
I agree. Hoss, do you have anything to add to what Marie just said there before we go on to the next match? Because I think she's spot on.
The biggest thing, AEW fans, they plant their flag for AEW, and they start and they do anything to explain it. It won't make any sense either. But they'd be like, "Oh well, Tony Khan left breadcrumbs for this, and this happened 7 months ago, and and we weaved it together for something that was a year ago." And like, no, Tony Khan is scatterbrained. He remembers what at different times what happens. So stop trying to explain away what's going on in AEW, because it already doesn't make sense. And half the time, the stories are so convoluted, you will get lost in it because Tony Khan doesn't even know what he's doing. He's just like, okay, this person, they're going to wrestle tonight, or this person, that person, this person. I like my party match. Yeah, this is what we're going to do. That's all that's going on. So when people say he likes playing with his toys, that's exactly what is going on. That's why the TV struggles, because it's so wrestling oriented, and they'll come and argue on our streams like, what do you mean too much wrestling? What do you mean? It's a wrestling show. I'm like, we ask for good television. We say it every week. The graps are fine, but it's not enough. That's the biggest thing. And AEW fans are the worst when it comes to that. Not even WWE fans trying to explain away what Triple H is doing every night. But AEW fans, they try to explain exactly what Tony Khan's thinking today, tomorrow, and what have you.
Yeah, I agree. It's the sickos aren't helping Tony Khan's case. It's a whole other thing. Let's speaking of a whole other thing. We'll talk about this women's match because I know Haas, you brought her up earlier. Starlight Kid and Tekla. Now, this is kind of my issue. It's not. It's an issue because how come? And I told you guys, Haas. I told you this a little bit, and Marie. I think you just hopped in when me and Haas were talking about it, where it's like this Forbidden Door. Like all these matches don't really feel Forbidden Door. Like there's no animosity, no heat. We talked about that yesterday. Yeah. Tekla, you see her spit on the Stardom logo. You have her cut promos, and you had her. I saw a clip of her showing up in Stardom. Haas, why couldn't they do that this entire time on AEW TV? Now we had her spit on the logo. I understand that, but we don't see Starlight Kid. We don't even see really anything of her to build the match between them at Forbidden Door. Again, it's for the AEW Women's World Championship. What the fuck has Starlight Kid done to earn herself an AEW Women's title? Or she's not, I don't even think she's one of the main players over in Stardom. Haas, what do you think about this? Oh, she is? She is.
Okay.
So she is one of the main players in Stardom. I take that back. See, this is why we have Marie Shadows here. Haas, what do you think about this match? And why didn't they do this? How do I word this? Why didn't they explain more of what was going on between Tekla and Stardom? Instead, they let Tekla do it out in Japan, and that didn't translate over to Dynamite last night.
The thing about this whole feud is it seems real. It doesn't seem like a work. And like it's with Tekla, she's not that far detached from Stardom. Like Kenny Omega, he's been away from New Japan for a while, or Okada's been away for a while. Same thing with Will Ospreay. Tekla, she keeps like every other episode. She said, "Yeah, I was fired from Japan, and they did this in Japan." It seems personal, like even though it may have been mutual, whatever happened over there, but the packages that they've been showing, it makes a lot of sense, and it has you invested. And out of all the matches in this Forbidden Door, this one is the most people are invested in because it doesn't seem like a work, brother. It seems like a shoot. Like however they're presenting this is the best presentation that's going with this whole Forbidden Door aspect because, like I said again, this just seems real to Tekla. Like so, it seems real to us. So maybe Marie can explain it better to us what happened over there, but this just seems very authentic.
It does. It does.
So I will say this though, that I was a little concerned when Tekla's I guess contract was up and like she had to make a decision whether she was going to go to maybe AEW or WWE. Like I don't want most wrestlers to go to WWE. I wish we could just like rewind that. I don't want most wrestlers to go to AEW only because I don't want them to, get swept under the rug. Luckily, in Tekla's case, she is surviving, and she is the only interesting female that I will tune in and try to find the clips and see and see what she's doing. Because over in Stardom, she was also a main player, and she was also acting the same way. She'll tell you off, she'll do all these like crazy stuff and whatnot. Like it does feel kind of personal because Tekla has the passion for like what she's doing, and you can definitely tell that she gets this. And I'm very happy to see that she's thriving. Now, over in Stardom, I don't know all the details. I do know that eventually her and the president, obviously just have a falling out. I did tell this to Chris in DMs that you got to think about it like a Stone Cold Steve Austin versus a Vince McMahon kind of deal in kayfabe. Because I don't know anything like personal, but it just feel like kayfabe. So you got to think about it like that. And Tekla has a really awesome history over in Stardom. She does amazing things. And then with Starlight Kid is one of their main top girls there. And I absolutely love the way that Starlight Kid wrestles. So I will say that this match will steal the show for Forbidden Door. This is probably going to be the only, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah. This is going to be the only match that like steals the show because it feels real. These two girls are definitely going to put on like the best show there is. Starlight Kid is going to wow the American audience because she is really that good. My only problem is that I'm going to have, well, not really a problem, but do agree with Chris that like there was no build up. You guys already know who Starlight Kid is, unless you go searching for like Stardom stuff and get like a subscription, or basically watch Stardom with like somebody else. You're not really gonna know. But trust me when I say that this match is definitely gonna steal the show for Forbidden Door. It is unfortunate that there was no build up. Also, I do want to go back to one of Haas's other points, that this match should have been for like a non-AEW women's title defense, right? So it should have been like an exhibition, because let's just say that like, Starlight Kid happens to get a victory over Thekla, then that means that, she could potentially next time on Dynamite, or maybe on like a Collision, come in again and basically fight Thekla for the title. Or maybe if like, I don't know, if Starlight Kid wins, Thekla could go over to Stardom and do another feud. They go back and forth. Like, I don't know, but I definitely do not want, like, this should have been a 50-50 exhibition. Let me show the AEW crowd what Starlight Kid could do for Stardom. Also, I don't know if you guys want to talk about it now, but Bushiroad still owns Stardom. And Bushiroad went to go sell New Japan Pro Wrestling. So you also got to think about that too, and how that's going to play a role in this partnership now.
So you read my mind, because before I get into the next match, I was going to ask you, because again, when me and Haas are talking about it on Wednesdays, it's like I would ask Haas this on a Wednesday, or myself. It's like, why? Is there? This is kind of a two-parter. Why isn't there any like on-screen animosity on this show between a Stardom and New Japan? And B, here's the real question, Marie. Is there actual, and is it like how CMLL and AAA basically hate each other? Is that like that between Stardom and New Japan?
I don't think so. I think sometimes the internet grabs a narrative and they like go with it and whatnot. Like I was still surprised that Bushiroad decided to take out that 10 billion yen loan, but they didn't take it out from a Japanese bank. They took it out from other companies. And my rationale was that, like, if you take it from other companies, the companies are trusting you to return the investment on that. Basically, the ROI, the return on investment to the companies. So the companies obviously trust Bushiroad with their money, but a Japanese bank doesn't trust Bushiroad with that amount of money to take out as a loan. Like, this is where you got to put your thinking caps on to be like, why would you take it from a company? Like their money, why would you do that rather than a bank? If you really needed to get out of a debt for that. But to go back to the original point is that, like, I think the internet creates a narrative, they run with it, because there are certain women apparently, I guess, in Stardom that wants to like be the main character and like get that position of like the men and how the men are treated over there and whatnot. But then again, you got to like look at how Japanese culture is made and all this kind of shit and whatnot. But I did also mention that, like, if the Stardom women really want to be that main character, they all have to do it on their own and not attached to the coattails of New Japan Pro Wrestling, because the victory will feel more sweeter if they did it on their own, if they did the marketing on their own, if they were able to tell the fans like, hey, you got to come to the show. And not only men, because there is a time in Stardom history where like they did like a wet t-shirt contest, and like it's mainly all men in the fucking row and shit like that. So there's some stuff there where people could be like, oh, they hate each other and all this kind of stuff, but then they don't look beyond that to be like, hey, maybe we're wrong. I don't think they hate each other. I really don't. But yeah, I hope that at least like answers like enough of the question for like the first part.
It does, because again, there's at least when me and Haas talk about it on a Wednesday, my main thing is, where is the tension? I talked about it with Will Ospreay and Swerve. The tension. It feels like none of these companies have tension going into a show that's all about showing what company's the best, if that makes sense.
Okay. So see, I almost forgot what the second part of the thing, because I wanted to say for that is that in 2026, everybody wants to be friends with everybody. And they want to convince you that even though they say online that kayfabe is dead, blah, 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 right? But they still want to convince you that there's still a little bit of heat and animosity when they try to do these promos and when they try to be like, bruv, I'll do this to you and blah, 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 right? But overall, they want to be friends with their opponents, and their opponents want to be friends with their opponents, and it just feels like everything is a friendship nowadays when it comes to wrestling. There's no like actual freaking villain that you could actually get behind and be like, I don't like this guy. The only villain that, well, I can't say the only villain, but for the sake of this conversation and for the sake of New Japan conversation, the only annoying villain that we had was Evil. And Evil is doing evil things over in NXT. So, you lost that ability to have that evilness, that villain, that antagonist come in and like just kayfabe it out, just story tell it out, just role play it. We're not telling you this is reality. We're not telling you this is real life. If anything, the reason why I love professional wrestling is that they took obstacles that all of us deal with in life, meaning like bullying, people who want to like try to one up you, people who try to cheat you out of stuff. Like they took those issues and those scenarios and they put two wrestlers and they were like, here's your story. The babyface has to overcome the stupid obstacles that somebody else does, and it teaches you a lesson. And you were like, oh shit, I'm dealing with that. So this is how I deal with it. Non-fighting, but you could definitely talk things out. You could definitely do something. Wrestling teaches you this stuff, but nowadays it's like, I don't like you, wrestler, but can we please still be friends? Can you like my social media posts? Can you put me on, But I hate you. Hey, wrestling fans, remember that like I don't like this person, but I'm gonna go out to dinner and we're gonna have a steak and we're gonna like pose for pictures and stuff like that. Wrestlers want to be friends with wrestlers, and it's destroying the kayfabe, and it's destroying like the good competition that we used to have.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Haas, she's right, because what did we talk about yesterday? She literally just said all these wrestlers want to be friends. We know how friendly Ospreay and Swerve are.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I told you yesterday about all this history. The first Forbidden Door they fought at in 2024. They team up last year around the same time to quote unquote save the company from the EVPs. She's right. And again, Marie and Haas, MJF just had his wedding. Guess who was there posted up taking pictures? Darby
Ospreay?
Allin and MJF.
Oh my God.
Darby Allin showed up late to MJF's wedding and they took a picture with Sammy Guevara, MJF, and Darby Allin. And there were
That's so odd.
It's and again, we're not saying, at least for me, it's like Haas, I'm not saying that, and Marie as well. I'm not saying that don't be friends with these people. This is a show. You guys are playing the characters. I understand that, but I feel like another reason why people clown pro wrestling as well, just the casuals, and when people ask, that radio host saying, how do grown adults still watch wrestling? I don't blame them, because there's no real like I hate you or this and that. Like the only company or the only tensions I feel is with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. I feel like those two generally do not like each other because of all the other stuff. I think WrestleMania 40 had a lot to do with that. But my point is that is the only thing in professional wrestling that feels real. Like Marie said, everybody wants to be friendly. And Haas, this is a problem on Wednesday nights because they do it the most. And again, all these post your pictures. That's fine. Trick Williams just did it. Her and Lash Legend got married, and you see all these wrestlers.
That's fine. Yeah,
that's fine. It's no issue with that at all. But if you have two major players in the storyline, I mean, dude, when Dom had his wedding, there was no photos of Ray, unless you had one.
Yeah, no photos.
One or two people might have did it, but
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like And shout out to Dom for keeping that alive. But Hoss, Marie has a great point what she's talking
Yes.
about right there.
The thing about the business is just too overexposed. A lot of people like to blame. They like to blame WWE with Unreal, but it was even before that because everybody this social media era that everybody's in, everybody's life is everywhere. You can see everybody's like an open book, especially people that are trying to get over in real life. Or they're trying to make a lot of money in real life. They're trying to live like the Kai Cenats and the iShow Speeds, the people who stream 24/7. Like there's no secrets. There's nothing that you can sit there and be like, it's a mystery. Like a lot of people in basketball would say, no one ever knew what Michael Jordan was doing on the day-to-day. That's why his aura was so great. Now, when you see guys like LeBron James, I know this is not a wrestling thing, but you can see everything that's going on. So to bring it back to wrestling, when you see something like MJF and Darby together, you're killing the business, brother. Like I understand that y'all are comrades behind the scenes and everything in real life, but you still got to keep kayfabe alive. That's the biggest. You do. That's the biggest thing here. When kayfabe died, a big part of wrestling died with it. So everybody, so it seems more like it's faux MMA than professional wrestling, and that's why TV suffers because you have some people like MJF that may take this kayfabe thing seriously, like The Undertaker. Then you got people like the
Wyatt Six,
like the Wyatt Six, the supernatural beings. Yeah. Like it just doesn't make any sense. So it's got to be a happy medium there. And this is company wide, promotion wide. A lot of people just don't understand. Like there's so much you can do with pro wrestling. Like it doesn't have to be contained in a box. You have the pen. You can do anything you want with this, and that's why when we get sanitized wrestling, you get the outcry of the fans be like, "Oh man, this is boring," or "This sucks," or you keep doing the same thing over and over because there's limitless possibilities when it comes to wrestling.
Also, I will say that because you could do anything in wrestling, you still need someone like to look it over and be like, this may be a good idea, or we may have to put this on the back burner. And like timing is everything in professional wrestling. And maybe like an idea that you have may not work this week, but depending on what happens this week, it might work next week. And basically you build off of that, and then you also pivot and you're able to adapt in this business. Another example, and again, I don't like to do the whole like AEW versus WWE thing, but like imagine, but for this point of like the friendship thing and like the kayfabe stuff, imagine if after that Roman Reigns promo in the car when he was correcting CM Punk, imagine like right after that you saw a picture on social media where these two guys are laughing it up and like hugging it out. Like that promo would have fell apart. Because like it would have broke the illusion. AEW breaks the illusion of kayfabe all the time, and I got shit for this because I said the same thing with Jon Moxley when he broke character in the ring while one half of the other tag team that he was fighting on Collision, I don't know who they are. But the guy goes and chops him, and then like Moxley is like, nah, man, and he walks across the ring, and one night he's like, chop me again. I'm like, you broke the fucking illusion of professional wrestling. You don't. No. This happened recently on a recent Collision. It wasn't Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston hasn't been back since.
I thought you.
It might be Shane Taylor Promotions.
I thought you were talking about something that happened a while ago. Yes.
No. But yeah. So one of their guys, right? So the optics looks fucking bad to me. AEW doesn't understand optics because I really don't want to like get into this, but the optics of like Jon Moxley turning around one of the Shane Taylor promotions to give him an ass kicking as if like it was a lesson in like, boy, you better chop me harder. Like I fucking felt that shit. And I was like, Moxley, you are breaking all the illusions just because this guy didn't chop you the way that you like it, but you want to try to teach him a lesson. And then you want to be like, I'm a big ass tough guy, blah, blah, blah. Like optics and breaking the illusion and breaking kayfabe is AEW's biggest, like, I want to say downfall, but then again, people are like, oh my God, they've been around for 60 years. You don't know what you're talking about. it's a downfall. It's eventually going to catch up to them. All their baggage, all their shit is going to catch up to them. Karma. But yeah, I don't mind. I'm sorry to go off my tangents, but
no,
AEW,
you're
man.
good. This is why you're here. This is why you're here. This is why you're here, because again, we when it comes to the whole New Japan AEW Forbidden Door, it's all over the place, and trust me, we are grateful that you were here, because we're very, very grateful. Let's talk about something else that I'm not going to be grateful for this Sunday. We got a three-way tag team match. We got Sky Team, which it's Mystico and some other guy in a mask, representing CMLL. And then we got the Young Bucks, and then versus Unbound Co. Unbound Co. I have no Hoss, before we give it to Marie to go off here because she's feeling it. Who the hell is Unbound Co. or Unbound Co? And why are they having the match?
Well, the whole truth of the matter is these two tag teams are being fed to the Buckaroos. That's what's going on here. So I know Marie's gonna break down who Unbound Company
I have no idea who the hell Unbound CO or company is.
When she gives us the whole breakdown about them, it's gonna come back and be like, okay, do I think they're gonna beat the Young Bucks? Absolutely not. So the floor is yours, Marie.
The floor is yours, Marie. There you go.
Unbound Company.
All right. So basically, you guys already know who the Young Bucks are. We already know who they are. For El Sky Team, listen, can you guys just put it all in Spanish when like you write their name? Why does one half have to be in Spanish? It just means the Sky Team. My God. So Mystico, I love Mystico. Like he's a hard worker, especially in like MOW and like CMML. Great guy. And basically the other guy, because I'm gonna butcher the fucking Spanish names. I'm so sorry. That's basically.
If I knew his name, maybe I could help you. I don't know his name.
I'm gonna say it the white way. I am so sorry because I'm half white. I'm Italian as well. But Mascara Dorada basically is like
Mascara Dorada. Okay, that's who.
Yeah, there we go.
Who that is.
Mascara Dorada, Mascara Dorada y Místico. Mascara Dorada.
Thank you.
They wear the same.
Thank you.
So
basically, I should be right in saying that it translates to like 1,000 masks. It should be that. Our producer could correct me on that. I think it's 1,000 masks. So basically, they're from CMML. Now, Unbound Co. You guys better get ready for this. So as you know, there is no more Bullet Club. As I'm wearing my Bullet Club shirt. So there is no more Bullet Club because I don't know what the fuck happened. I really don't. So what happened was that there has been this like long-term feud between David Finlay, Clark Connors, Drilla Maloney, and Gabe Kidd versus what has been left of LIJ. Because Naito left, Bushi left, and also Hiromu left LIJ. So all you had was Shingo Takagi, Tsuji, and like Teton, who's also from CMML. So they had this like long-standing feud in a way where they're all battling each other. And then eventually when it came out that Bullet Club would be no more, they had like one last final match. They decided to call a truce and they decided to come together, and nobody could come up with a fucking name except for Tsuji. Tsuji was like, we're going to be named Unbound Co. That's the story.
So
yes,
Unbound Co. It's not even company. It's just Co.
I mean, Co is short for company, so you can say company. Okay. But technically, when you read it, it's basically the short form for company. The same way, like for street, it'll be ST dot, and then also for saint. So it's that. But Tsuji, all of them were like, nah, man, I don't care what you name it. I don't have any ideas. And then Tsuji was like, Unbound Co. And then David Finlay and Clark Connors left. And they're in AEW. And then Drilla Maloney is, I guess, still part of Unbound Co. with Tsuji and Shingo and Teton. Teton doesn't really have like a direction. So yeah, that's how we got to Unbound Co.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna be honest about it. It's a terrible name. It's awful.
It is. I said the same thing.
It is a bad name.
I mean, Sky Team is just shits on that name, and Sky Team is just it's very generic, but it's better than Unbound.
It's the most American luchador high flying name I've ever heard. Sky Team.
It is, right?
And
that's the story.
And we can
I appreciate you breaking that down for us. I really do.
I want to say.
Go ahead, Kev.
I want to say something. I got to get it off my chest. That fucking song for Mystico, it's a love ballad. Could we stop saying, "Oh my God, it's such a great song"? That's a fucking love ballad. When you have 20 bottles of tequila in you, it's a love ballad. It's a fucking love ballad. I hate when they say, "Oh, the wrestling fans should know that song." It's Mystico. It's a fucking love ballad from a telenovela. Please. Stop.
Okay.
With that fucking Mystico song.
The producer with the Molotov cocktail.
No, they did it.
I had to get it off my chest.
They did it during Grand Slam Mexico, and they were going. The crowd was it was. I agree, but we could all agree that the Bucks aren't losing this match.
By the way, that song, when you have a couple tequilas, they actually make men get their fucking. They moja la canoa. You know what you mean. What that means? Yeah. They turn a little. Yeah, I think Tony Khan gets a little with that.
That's why he keeps booking Mexico, and he's gonna pay all the rights for that music. Oh my God. But yes, we can all agree that the Bucks aren't losing this match.
Not at all.
No
job.
But I was surprised that the War Dogs has a victory over the Young Bucks before the War Dogs faces the AEW Tag Team Champions, and I was just like, oh shit, you guys actually laid down for David Finlay and Clark Connors? Like when is this? What?
Murray, I'm gonna be honest. There's this thing that me and Kev do, and Haas has been doing it well, where it's like, you read my mind. Because that's actually the next match I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
Clark Connors. I have a specific order, and the order is right here. And you had that. I had that next. So great job. It's like you have a camera inside my area, and you see my notes right here.
That's creepy. I wouldn't do that, but okay, I'll take that.
Before you get that description, over under 3.5 spears in this match.
Oh, over.
I don't know.
Clark Connors is probably going to give 2. Edge will give a couple. Christian will probably do his thing. But we got the War Dogs, Clark Connors, and David Finlay. When I first saw, I obviously know who Clark Connors is before he came to AEW. But when I first when you think of, he sounds like a star, an OnlyFans star. That's what the name Clark Connors sounds like. I think he's a dweeb, in my opinion.
Wow.
I think he tries, in my opinion, he tries to be like Juice Robinson, this psycho, crazy dude. No, he doesn't do it for me. David Finlay, I think highly of. I'm very happy David Finlay is on TV. I don't think Tony's going to do anything with him. But they're going against Cope and Christian for the AEW tag titles. Now, Marie, I'll start off with you this time. I want to ask you, what do you think? Why do you think the War Dogs, specifically David Finlay? Because I know there was a lot of reports going around that David Finlay could possibly be, go to WWE. His dad's there, yada yada, or go to AEW. Little of a two-parter here. How do you think the Dogs have been in AEW from what you've seen? How do you think they've, transformed? And who do you think they have a chance of beating Adam Copeland and Christian Cage for an AEW World Championship?
I honestly, from all the clips that I've seen and just seeing what they do, it's basically what they did during the last couple of weeks they were in New Japan Pro Wrestling. First of all, that OnlyFans comment about Clark Connors is something. That is something only because of I don't know if I can now not unsee it.
Look at the way he dresses.
But I will say that him and his dad are two sexy guys, so it works out. So me coming from
I bet the girls think he's good looking. I'm not denying that.
He is definitely good looking. So I think your OnlyFans comment can like stand. Anyway, you probably would have liked him before he created this like new weird character, because in New Japan Pro Wrestling, they weren't doing anything with him. And because his tag team partner, Drilla Maloney, was getting more muscle to go into the heavyweight division and broke up the junior division that like they were basically dominating, he created this stupid character where like he had a tire and was using it as a gimmick to be like, that's his weapon of choice, similar to how like Mick Foley would have like Mr. Sacco and like Triple H would have like the sledgehammer, and Clark Connors did a very like kooky little stupid ass little gimmick, and I'm like, bro, get rid of the tire. Like, you're so good at wrestling, get rid of the tire. So maybe that's why you probably don't like his character and whatnot, what he's doing.
Hold on. I need a timeout, Marie. Hold on.
What's up? Sorry.
Wait a minute. So wait a minute. You tell me this guy was carrying around a tire in Japan? No, that cannot go unchecked. This grown ass man. Okay, because
a car tire.
Because on AEW, because he has matches on AEW. He comes out with matches. Yeah, he's gonna burn some shit.
Oh yeah. He changed.
So you telling me this man was carrying around a big ass rubber tire in Japan?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and throwing it at people, using it as like a gimmick. Yeah, that too. Like just yeah. This is why I think that he didn't. Well, in my opinion, he didn't really care too much about like where his like contract was going. He was just waiting to finish it out, so that way like him and David could probably go over to like AEW and whatnot. But thanks for letting me know that on AEW he has matches and he's burning people. So he goes by 100 proof Clark Connors, where like he has like the drinking stuff and whatnot. But yeah, that's Clark Connors. Like, I love that dude. I interviewed him twice, I believe, and he's fucking fantastic. But yeah, to get back to your question of like, I basically think that eventually after they basically dominate the AEW tag team division, there goes their ceiling, and I have no idea what else they're gonna do. And then, I mean, Edge and Christian could just give them the belts for like 30 days and then take it back. Just so that way they could get that accolade, and then both Clark and David could both move up and move on from like AEW and whatnot, and go do some other stuff. Go stretch out their wings and stuff like that. They're both still young. I mean, David Finley's brother is in NXT and doing great with Birthright. So, why not try to do something fun and different and whatnot, and even argue with your freaking dad over there in WWE. It'll be great television. It would. But yeah, that's my take on like this match and like the little behind the scenes story of the War Dogs or the Dogs.
Hoss, basically from everything that Maurice has told you, are you excited to see Mr. Clark Connors?
There's a picture.
What the hell?
Yeah, dude, it's real.
Actually happened.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you.
With the rim and all, not just the tire. It's a whole rim in there too.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, what the? Oh my
God. He carried that shit around whenever they were doing like New Japan and whatnot and using it in matches. I was like, what are you doing?
Do they not have OSHA in Japan?
What happened?
Do they not have OSHA? The workplace safety,
the occupational safety thing?
That's a safety hazard.
No, because after having that cage match with the United Empire and War Dogs, the first one, Hinari almost died because he got his head split open, and they had to bandage that shit. Wow. Certified. They had to bandage Hinari so that he doesn't fucking die right there in the match, and then that match also ended the career of Alex Coughlin. So no, they don't have like safety worky, not worky. Oh my god, I'm getting brain frog here. But you know what I mean. Worker safety. There we go. Fuck.
Go ahead.
I tell you about the Dogs. I believe, I can't prove this just of yet. This is a feeling. I think Tony Khan is propping up the Dogs because he doesn't feel like the FTR negotiations are going in his favor right now. I believe he's going to have the Dogs as his backup plan to go into Wembley, because the New Day, the New Day is supposed to be coming. The Machine Guns are supposed to be coming.
Everybody.
Everybody's supposed to be coming to AEW. they may not be cleared of their 90 days going into Wembley, so they're going to have the dogs.
Oh my God.
This tire stuff is ridiculous. But yes.
I know.
Yeah, but they're going to have the dogs on deck for this three-team TLC match, just in case FTR is not ready negotiation-wise.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I agree.
Can I say something? Can I say
yes.
real quick?
Sure.
Is this guy trying to be Captain America with the fucking tire?
No.
Why is it on nunchuck?
Oh. Okay, so basically
on JCW. Is that Ninja Mac?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Okay, I know I've seen it before.
Yes.
Ninja
so
Mac?
You have Ninja Mac. Yeah. Yeah. So Ninja Mac was there with the nunchucks, and our producer brought up a good point. Is he trying to be Captain America? I didn't even think about that, but I don't know, man. They told him to run with the gimmick. He ran with the gimmick, and yeah, I was just like, this is not a good look for you, buddy.
Clark Connors gives me great value Nick Nemeth or great value Shawn Michaels. That's what
literally,
he's that good.
No, like I said, he no homo. He looks good. He definitely has that. He's definitely, because you guys are, Marie,
he's super sexy.
Okay, I'm not gonna go that far.
We got to bring it back. You got to bring it back, Chris. Very
heterosexual. There we go.
Very heterosexual.
Very. But no,
his father. His father is sexy too. I was like, damn.
Clark Connors, there you go. Get the dad involved, and everybody's gonna have a good happy ending. But yes, I think I got Cope and Cage. I think they're gonna win. But I like Marie's thing where just give them the title for 30 days and see what they could do.
Yeah.
I personally want to see David Finlay on his own anyway. Again, maybe I could grow on to Clark Connors, and a lot of the things you said, like with the Starlight Kid and Tekla, like Clark Connors, like I'm definitely going to be paying more attention to these things. Now that you brought those up, but I from right now, Finley's the guy that I want to see elevate a little bit more in the singles competition.
I will say this though, that like when David Finlay first, like officially when he signed for AEW, when he came in, and I think like he came in on a collision or whatnot, there was no reaction. There was no reaction from the fans, and I really do hate it sometimes when I'm watching clips and it's David Finlay and Clark Connors doing what they do best, and nobody in the front row where you're sitting in the hard cam, no one is reacting. And I'm like, oh my God, I feel bad for them because I need people to react to them, because those two guys are good as a tag team and they're good by themselves. And everybody will say that they want wrestling, but you're not reacting to the wrestling, even though you've seen the same freaking shit 1,000 times. You're not reacting to the wrestling. You're not reacting that the dogs are coming in, beating up your favorites, that you claim are your favorites. There's like no reaction.
Oh, this is my beef I have with fans all the time. They sit up here and get mad that wrestlers get released, or they go to or they go to quote unquote Guantanamo Bay and be like, oh, how come they're not on television? Because you don't play along. Wrestling fans, they do not take accountability. Like, hey, these people need reactions and they need merchandise sales. If you do not react appropriately, they're not going to put these people on television. And then the same people get on here. I know this is going to be a WWE topic. They'll sit up here and complain about Jey Uso getting pushed to the moon. Guess what? That guy gets reactions. That guy sells merch.
He does.
So
he does.
The fans, they can't talk out both sides of their neck here. That's what this goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And one more thing real quick before we keep going to we got 5 more matches left. One match isn't really gonna be much, but there's 2 here that I really want to talk about specifically in depth. But I want to ask Marie something that myself and Haas are curious on, at least because I think you said something about him the other day. What the fuck's going on with Gabe Kidd? He's one of the only people that has come from this War Dogs New Japan that I actually want to see on TV.
Listen, you're going to have to be way more specific, because if not, I'm going to get into a whole fucking thing.
That I saw beefing with Will Ospreay on Instagram Live. I want that Gabe Kidd that goes out there, and I know what he can do. I've seen little bits of how Gabe Kidd can be. Tony Khan has softened him up like none other. The Gabe Kidd that I've seen on AEW is very, very not entertaining. I will say that much.
Oh, really? Okay.
In my opinion,
Okay, that's fine.
Putting Darby in body bags. That's the tough guy that we've seen from Gabe Kidd. When has this guy actually gone out and spoke and said anything? They brought him in as a member of the Death Riders. They haven't done anything with him, and then they had him team up with the War Dogs to feud with Darby Allin and friends, Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong. That went absolutely nowhere with the trios title. Gabe Kidd, I guess he's hurt. But my point is, in my opinion, I want to see him more than all three of these, anybody with this new War Dogs, Bullet Club War Dogs, whatever the hell they are now.
Okay,
I tell you, hold before you go, Marie.
Yeah.
I want the Gabe Kidd that Willow Nightingale finds interesting. That's the Gabe Kidd I want.
I want the Gabe Kidd that was on Instagram Live with Will Ospreay beefing, talking about yada yada yada. Like that felt real. That there was tension.
Okay.
There. What, Marie? What happened?
Well,
what are they doing to my guy?
Okay. I think how everything played out, because I watched the ups and downs of his career and stuff like that, and then like we had the COVID thing and whatnot. And I'll probably get into like all the backstory and whatnot. But I think the main thing is that once Wrestle Kingdom, Wrestle Dynasty happened, when he faced Kenny Omega, and we had that weird little episode of Chris Charlton getting suspended and shit like that for the things that he said. I honestly think that once Tony Khan showed him the check, that this is where we have a complete 180 of Gabe Kidd. And now when people call him out on this, because it was very obvious. Remember at the start of this whole entire show, I said, wrestlers, don't be obvious if you just want the money. I understand you want the money. All four of us here want money too, but we're here trying to give you a show and trying to give you in-depth analysis, and we're not like, pay me now, blah, 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 send in a super chat. We're not trying to put that at the forefront. And I think that what happened with Gabe Kidd is that he put that at the forefront so that way he could retire his parents and he could like live a good life and do whatever he wants to do. That's all fine. He can do all of that, but don't put that as your forefront and then try to go back into kayfabe and try to be that crazy psycho that I enjoyed too. Basically in New Japan Pro Wrestling, like after he came out and said that he almost committed suicide on during COVID and whatnot, because it was a very, very, very lonely time, and like him admitting that he had to go to the mental hospital just to get his mind right, that after all that he used that into his character and whatnot, and he was a fucking madman, and I bought into it, and I was like, this is the Gabe Kidd that I want, because it's interesting. I want to see what he does. I want to see how he's gonna interact with his opponents, and his opponents were fucking great to interact with him, to be this madman. And then now he wants to still do it, but it's like it feels fake and cheap to do it now. I just think it's the money that changed him, and then he doesn't know how to navigate social media now that people are like calling him out on, like, bro, you used to be like this, now you're like this, and this is the receipts to show it. It's a complicated situation. I personally do not want him to like come after me to talk shit, because I'll be like, bro, you don't even fucking try it. But just based on everything that I've seen, his whole entire career, from him being like the young lion and getting graduating from there, and then his story, which is like tragic in a way, and then doing all of this, it's like, I don't know where that Gabe Kidd is at. If money wasn't like the projection, I think all three of us here would be like, yeah, let's go, Gabe Kidd is awesome and blah blah blah. But I just think the money changed him, and that he wore this stuff down, because now he has to play in the box. I don't know why my brain thought about it. Similar to like CM Punk, when CM Punk was talking all the shit he wanted to talk, got on the mic, said whatever he wanted to say, and then went to WWE and was still able to say what he wanted to say, but then he had to play ball, but then he dropped the ball, and then now him coming back, now he has to play in the box. And oh my God, I can't believe I'm drawing those two parallel like sort of things going on.
Marie, don't say that too loudly, Marie. Jim Cornette will block you for that. Don't say it too loudly.
Listen, that's okay. I'm no longer on Twitter. He could do whatever the fuck he wants. He could do whatever the fuck he wants. But
yeah, he blocked me for that.
Oh, but now certain wrestlers have to play in the box and dumb down their character. But I believed in the Madman character. I was rooting for that guy. I was like, yeah, I want to see it. Also his promo that he did backstage. Man, you know, since I do tape study and I break down promos too, and not only matches for professional wrestlers who just improve or just get a second pair of eyes on their stuff, I was thinking of going after that promo to dissect it. It's probably going to be a lot of ranting, but I will say that as a wrestler, you do need to evolve and you do need to add some character and lore to your character to work to get over. But man, I don't really know what's up with Gabe Kidd. And this is a tame version of me talking about him, because I would be cursing up a storm, because I'm like, bro, you had it all, man. You had the kayfabe, you had everything. And then once Tony Khan showed you how much money you can get and how much money you can like finesse from him, you fucking changed, bro. The money changed you. This is the example of the money changed you.
Gosh, that's unfortunate that
Very
we don't
much
get
so.
to see that version on AEW TV.
Very much so, because when he was going against Darby Allin, I was just asking for I want more. I just kept wanting more.
Yeah,
because everybody was like, man, Darby's going to get him over, and I'm like, Darby, unless you're throwing Darby from 5 stories onto a flaming
Oh my
table.
god!
didn't they have that casket match or coffin match?
They did, and guess who won?
Wait, Gabe Kidd won?
No, he
Or
did not.
No, he
Dar-
lost.
Oh, Darby. Oh.
Coffin match.
Yes.
Yeah, Darby Allin won that. We covered it. Yeah.
Yes.
So hold on. Fans were actually saying that Darby Allin was gonna get over Gabe Kidd.
Dude.
Yes.
They're like, you don't understand. Gabe Kidd is, at least I heard this from one person at Haas. I think we know this person who I'm talking about, told me that Gabe Kidd is this good guy coming in from New Japan, and he has a lot of, I'm kind of paraphrasing, he has a lot of hype. And him going on TV with a established AEW star and Darby Allin is going to get Gabe Kidd over. I was told that.
Are you
wrestling?
Está bien, pendejo. Bien, pendejo.
Fucking pendejo, yes. Oh my god, no, because Gabe Kidd got himself over in New Japan Pro Wrestling to the point where like
not to the sickos.
Fired. It backfired a little bit in New Japan Pro Wrestling, because he was supposed to be the antagonist, the villain, and like the madman, and because people were falling in love with him anyway, they sort of changed him to be a babyface, so it sort of backfired. But you are never going to get that Gabe Kidd back that was truly amazing in New Japan Pro Wrestling when he was the madman. Only Gabe Kidd got himself over. Darby Allin can't do shit to these guys to get any other guy over. You think Darby Allin could get other guys over? Why? Because you throw him off of a 50-foot building and he's still walking around as if like he's a GTA character that could just get healed and go back into doing whatever the fuck he wants to do? Like, oh my God, you throw someone off the building, you're over.
Marie with the flamethrower.
Dude, she just pissed off half of our audience, the sickos.
I don't
with that comment.
like,
Cook Marie.
Cook.
Man, like, listen, hold on. Okay, so
we've been saying this for months, by the way.
So basically, there's a difference. Listen, there's a difference when Mick Foley gets thrown over the cage and he gets a little bit more over, and Undertaker gets a little bit more over, because, you know, we're not throwing Mick Foley off the cage every single, Monday Night Raw, where it's like a repeat on loop and whatnot. Darby Allin is a repeat on.
We're getting it Sunday in the steel cage match.
Yes.
You know he's going to get thrown off the top of that steel cage. We're going to talk about it.
He's gonna get thrown off, and then people are gonna be like, "See, he put that guy over because he got thrown off the cage." Last I checked, he's the one fucking falling. Why is he not getting over? Oh, because of, I don't know, because he doesn't. I don't know. I was like, because he doesn't like to live or whatnot. But like, Darby Allin is not the role model you guys think he is. Stop making him a role model. Stop making him a thing. And Darby Allin really should not be in this business at all. Like, he doesn't make it anything better. If you want to do death matches, go get booked on GCW instead. You'll be a better mainstay there than AEW. AEW needs to get their shit together and have people who are in their own lane where you could tell them apart. Luckily, I could tell Darby Allin apart from everybody else, but it just seems like these AEW sickos are like, oh my God, he does all these death-defying shit. It should put somebody over. Can he tell a story? No, because he's always like, I'm death. I'm gonna drag you down with me. I'm gonna have a coffin.
He starts to tell a story, and then he goes to where you just said. Like he'll go on the mic, and he'll get us over in a set. Like Hoss, like I'm gonna talk about just this, and we're gonna preview these matches. But while we're on this subject, remember when we talked about I kind of got sympathy with Darby for a little bit, you know, going into the first match with MJF, talks about his struggles, yada, 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 and then it just goes nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God.
And his title reign didn't help.
Now you got to kill him.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we don't have to rehash that whole
No, we
title
don't.
reign.
We're not.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Darby Allin's not getting you over. Just the same way.
No,
it sucks. It sucks because I'm actually a huge fan.
He has the same effect Cody Rhodes has. Cody Rhodes is not getting you over, but that's a different discussion as well.
That is a different discussion. Like, bro.
Punk couldn't even get Darby Allin over, and he was he was Punk's first match since coming back in pro wrestling.
By the way, just for entertainment purposes, can our producer find a picture of My Chemical Romance and just put it up on the screen? I still want this to happen.
Way? You want Gerard?
Yeah,
just Darby Allin.
I
have the picture.
Oh, just put up a picture. Just put up a picture of My Chemical Romance, please. One of my dreams is for Darby Allin to come out to Welcome to the Black Parade.
When I was
let that
a young boy, my father.
Please let that be a thing. Please let that be a thing.
Parade.
Because you want to know why? If he comes out to that song, he will be over.
I will mark the fuck out.
I would too, even though I don't like him.
I will mark the fuck out. My Chemical Romance is my best buddies, one of my best buddies' favorite bands. I've grown into them over the last few years. I've always liked My Chemical Romance.
You have?
I was a kid. I've liked them.
I'm older than you, so.
Well, right, but I mean that Black Parade only came out in like 2006.
That's 20 years ago, Chris.
Yeah.
Only 2006. Bro, 20 years ago.
I probably listened to it in like.
Yeah, see, look.
There we go. Shout out to Gerard Way and My Chemical Romance.
And put Darby Allin in there too, and like he'll be a perfect match.
You know, him and Gerard are friends.
Welcome. Oh shit! Really?
I'm not surprised.
That's why I said I have the picture of them together. Gerard and Darby Allin are very good friends. That's why when you're saying this, it's not.
So what? Oh my God. Listen, universe.
Gerard's birthday, Darby always posts this. Shout out to my good friend and one of my favorite singers, Gerard Way. And they have a picture at the skate park together.
Shit.
Shout out to My Chemical Romance. Shout out to Gerard Way.
So if they add them to the group, My Chemical Pendejos.
There we go. Don't let what instruments Darby playing?
He's not. He's jumping off of a fucking stage.
He's the stunt man. He's gonna be one of those guys.
Yeah, he's a stunt man.
You've seen those concerts. He's gonna have one when they come out. He's gonna have like dress as the Black Parade and all black.
Yeah, dude.
He's gonna be one of those guys coming out in the beginning. Oh my God! Again, Marie. I love that you like My Chemical Romance. That is great.
I did. Listen, I grew up with all the emo guys, with the Fall Out Boys, the Used, My Chemical Romance, Taking Back Sunday.
I'm not that big of a fan of
all the
Used, but that's a different story for another day. But
okay, another story.
Yes, but we definitely. I look at that, and one of your favorite country singers is from my hometown, by the way. So just want to get that out there. Shout out to Mr. Warren. Okay, I know.
That's right. That's right.
Yes,
Warren.
Yes. Warren Zayers or whatever the frick his name is. The only
Zyders, Warren Zyders.
So, quick story before we get back to the wrestling. When he did his hometown show here in Hershey, a bunch of my friends went. I'm not in the country music, but they went, and he was roaming around the city. And I guess I was driving around, and he was right there. I didn't recognize. I don't know the guy, but I know you're a big fan. I'm like, dude, the dude's right up from my alley. So. Yeah, shout out to the music. Hoss, real quick, give me some of your favorite artists right now before we get back into this review.
Right now, I'm
fucking AEW.
I'm on an old school kick right now, so I'm listening to Curtis Mayfield and James Brown at this point.
There you go.
Nothing current right now.
There you go. There you go. A little music time here with the Sports Jedi Network crew. But let's get back into the wrestling. Unfortunately, this is what we have to do here. Jon Moxley, Hoss versus Bandito.
The most wanted. Yeah.
We talk about this a lot on Dynamite. We said they had their 6-man match yesterday. Hoss, we talk about this where it's like Bandito's a great wrestler, but he's stuck in Ring of Honor. There's no chance in hell he wins any of these matches against the opponents he fights in AEW. Give me your opinion on what you think's gonna happen in this match between Moxley and Bandito.
It's gonna be a Bandito showcase, like Maximum Carnage when Bandito went against MJF with the diamond ring for the title. That was a Bandito showcase. Moxley is gonna show you how strong Bandito is. We may see 2, maybe 3 21 plexes. We might see him try to see him deadlift Jon Moxley like he did Claudio last night. Because that's the running trope with Bandito now. They show you how strong he is. They like to say pound for pound, he might be the strongest guy in AEW. So we're gonna get a good match. Maybe about wait a minute, hold on. Before I get to that, what is the time limit for Continental Championship matches?
I think I think it was 60 minutes.
With Jon Moxley,
it should be 60.
Yeah, with Jon Moxley, we had pay-per-views with no time limit. We've had 60 minutes. We've had 20 minutes. They changed the rules. They changed the rule for Moxley Hogan here.
It's based off what Tony feels like that day.
Exactly, because Mox books himself.
Tony feels. Oh yeah, Tony that too. Oh no. Okay, so what you're saying it's based off how long Moxley feels like wrestling.
Yes, he feels.
He goes up to Tony and says, "This is how long I want the match to be."
See, this is the
2
problem.
minutes.
I wouldn't be surprised.
This is the problem when everybody on the internet keeps calling him the ace of AEW because he gets to make
I
his
hate
own
that.
rules. It's disgusting. It really is disgusting, Marie. But he makes his own rules. That's why Death Rider TV goes down in the ratings every time they come on. But yeah, this is going to be a good old match, maybe about 25 minutes, and then Bandito is going to eat a paradigm shift. Maybe 2 of them. He's going to probably tap out to that bulldog choke. There you go.
There you go. Marie Shadows, what do you think about this?
The only thing I'm gonna say that it feels every time that Jon Moxley has a match with anybody, it feels like a participation trophy of like, oh my God, thank you for being in AEW. Oh my God, you've been in catering for how long? Hey, I'm gonna give you a title shot. It's a fucking participation trophy with Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley has no vision. And by the way, for everybody out there that's getting all their freaking panties in a twist about what Bully Ray said, that Jon Moxley wants to act like a tough guy. Hold on. That basically Jon Moxley wants to act like a tough guy, and Bully Ray would beat the shit out of him. And Josh Barnett coming to Jon Moxley's defense, bro. You created Bloodsport just so that way Jon Moxley could sort of win and be good at something, because he's not an MMA person. And everybody out there that's like, oh my God, he trains in MMA. He trains in this and that. He gets his ass handed to him when he tries.
You saw the video, Marie, of him getting chased
I saw.
Hoss, you saw that?
Listen, I try to keep up, but like even I can tell that this guy doesn't have like the MMA training. He walks around like a fucking tough guy. You know, I rather have Karrion Kross in my corner. I rather have Matt Riddle in my corner. I rather have Bobby Lashley in my corner, who are like, you know, true people in like the MMA side world other than like professional wrestling. Like I would trust them to fucking train me. I wouldn't trust Jon Moxley to well, no. I don't know about that. I don't know about CM Punk. I don't know about that. He tried though. I'll give him that. He tried. But I wouldn't trust Jon Moxley to try to be an MMA person. But anyway, you guys got to stop coming at Bully Ray when like, you should know it's 50% kayfabe, it's 50% joking around, and it's 50% being a New Yorker, and New Yorkers be talking their shit all the time. If you don't understand that, then there's me, you know, and our producer. But either way, Bully Ray is right that there is, I think he also said there's no vision for the Death Riders.
There's not.
There really is no. There really is no vision.
If they had a vision, their vision was gatekeeping the title hostage for a year. That's overplayed.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's
overplayed.
that is.
You out with plastic bags.
Chokes you out with plastic bags. Yeah. We're gonna keep the title in a briefcase for over a fucking year. That's the
I remember
Riders
that
direction. But it's ran its course. It's ran its course. It doesn't. The Death Rider should have broke up last July.
Yeah,
and we're in July. We're about to be in July in 2016, a year later, and they're still doing the same BS.
Yeah. But also like, so yeah, ultimately, my point is, because I wanted to talk a little bit about the Ospreay, Breen, and Death Riders, but John Moxley versus Bandito for the Forbidden Door is not really a Forbidden Door because they're in the same fucking company. One happens to be on Collision and in catering.
Aren't forbidden. The next two matches we're gonna cover aren't Forbidden Door, aren't really Forbidden Door.
Okay. But you know, John Moxley just does a participation trophy, so the match to me is a participation trophy. However, I will say this though, that like I don't understand how, even though I understand that Ospreay needs to recover from his neck surgery and whatnot, and needs to switch up his you know, wrestling style because it really does take a toll on him and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I said it before that he should have been working with Bobby Lashley and the Hurt Syndicate, whatever they're calling themselves now, because Bobby Lashley works in MMA, and then you have an all-American amateur wrestler in Shelton Benjamin, and no one is giving Shelton Benjamin his flowers, and you have MVP as the first ever IWGP Intercontinental Champion of New Japan Pro Wrestling before they got rid of the Intercontinental Championship title and merged that title with the world title, and then also merged it with like the global title. It gets complicated, but MVP was the first ever Intercontinental New Japan Pro Wrestling champion. So why the fuck is Ospreay being put with the Death Riders where Moxie doesn't even have that kind of accolade, and nobody on that team has the accolades of Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin? Is like, do we have to revisit some talking points from at the start of AEW of like, is Tony Khan scared to put their black wrestlers at the forefront with their accolades? Because I would have the main characters be Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and MVP, because they have so much fucking knowledge. You could go to them and be like, hey, I have this story idea. Let me run this by you. What do you think about taking this person under your wing? What do you think about taking Private Party under your wing? What do you think about taking, you know, a little bit of Shane Taylor Promotions and create a fucking beef for like 6 months? What do you think about going to New Japan and go over to World Tag League? What do you think about going to New Japan and doing the G1? They don't have that under their accolades, but you're going to go send John Moxley, who does like, hey, how much time do I got? Hey, I blow up during the match. AKA, for those that don't know about wrestling terms, it means that like he's breathing way too heavy in the match and he hasn't caught his breath yet, so he's blown up in the match. Why are you not sending them? Why are they not at your forefront? But people who don't like do shit, who are so fucking lazy, but yet they want to say the whole AEW roster is lazy and try to make a storyline out of it, is like at the center.
I don't know how many times that myself and Kev, especially during the World's End last year, but even I mentioned this to Haas too, Marie. Why isn't Bobby Lashley in the world title scene? Why have we not gotten a big match between MJF and Bobby Lashley? Because
that would be money.
That would be great.
The rumors that they don't want to do jobs. That's the big rumor.
Yeah, see.
And then MVP shut that down when he let Kevin Knight and Speedball go over against the Hurt Syndicate.
But think about Moxley. He doesn't mind taking a job once a year. He only jobs.
He didn't want to job the CM Punk at Double, was it or All In when they had the All In. No, it was All Out. 2022 or 23, where there was the interim. Moxley was the interim world champion.
Oh yeah, that fucking shit.
Because of what CM Punk did backstage.
Yeah. He didn't take the pin.
He didn't want. It was a whole ruckus reportedly backstage between him, Tony, and CM Punk. CM Punk was like, "Stop being a bitch. Like, I'm drawing money for this company. Like, whatever's." Yeah. So I agree. You
remember when Tony Khan became the punching bag when he said he feared for his life with CM Punk?
Yeah. That's still it's still the utterest biggest bullshit he's ever said to this.
I honestly believe he fears his life around John Moxley. I believe he does. I believe he fears for his life.
I believe it too.
Because if drunk John Moxley comes back, we got big problems here.
I don't know if that's ever gonna happen.
There's no way that Tony Khan he's not putting his foot down. If I'm Tony Khan, I'm saying, yo, you're not going out there and putting spikes in your freaking head every week.
Yeah,
you're not bleeding every week.
Well, you don't have forks like we used to. Last year, he forked the hell out of Hangman at all in. I told
you the story about Revolution. Marie, real quick. I was at a Dave & Buster's bar during Revolution 2023. It was the pay-per-view where it was Danielson versus MJF in the Iron Man match. And these teenage girls from college walk into the bar. They're sitting down. AEW's playing all on the projectors at Dave & Buster's. And Moxley is stabbing Hangman in his face. And you see just Hangman's blood just... I swear to God, I've never seen a group of white college girls pick up their... they put their money in there. So they didn't even finish their drink, nothing. They left. They were so disgusted of what they were watching. And they were like, let's go somewhere else. Like, yada, yada, yada.
Shout out to them, man.
I was sitting there. Mind you, this is my peak sicko era. So I'm sitting here like, this is fucking amazing. I love what I'm watching right now. This is 5-star wrestling. Yeah, no, thank God I left that.
Yeah, thank God you came. Yeah, you came back to reality.
I came back to reality.
God you came back to reality.
Dude, I gave it till 2024 or 2025 or no, yeah, it was 2024. Because I joined the Sports Jedi Network late in 2024. I gave it to the entire 2024 for AEW. I gave it one more year. 2026, I just can't. I can't give it another year anymore. I can't. I gotta start speaking the truth.
Never go full sicko. You lose your mind.
I can't anymore. Never again. Never again. Never again. Let's talk about this. We got a few more matches here, but I want to talk about this one. It is the finals of the women's Owen Maya World versus Mercedes Moné.
I like your boobs.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
It should have been I like your ass too, but we don't have sky blue on there, so.
Oh no, she should have been. She should have been there. So basically,
all she. Go ahead.
No, I go. I know what you're gonna say.
I was gonna say basically all she does is show ass.
Yep. That's all people really care to see her for. It's not like she's not a better wrestler than Maya World or Mercedes. This is where we talk about this on Wednesdays. I'm gonna throw it to you, Marie. I know you probably haven't been keeping up, but Mercedes is in the finals of a tournament. That just should tell you alone who's gonna win between Mercedes and Moné and Maya World. What do you think of before? I'll just ask you this because again, this isn't really Forbidden Door. What do you think about Mercedes Moné in AEW right now, or just what you've seen? I know she's done some work for Japan. What have you don't care too much about her?
Listen, the work she done in Japan is fucking horrible. It's stupid. Don't even
9
worry
belts,
Moné,
man. The New Japan Strong Women's Champion. That's who you're talking about. You can't disrespect the former New Japan Strong Women's Champion.
Fuck out of here with that. They all gave it to her because of her name and participation trophy and like meeting quotas.
Is that the Continental Classic of New Japan?
What?
The Strong Championships. I don't understand those.
So
that's probably a conversation for a different day, but
yeah, it is. Yeah. I could probably give you the crash course, but I'd rather do it for like a segment for another day. Because New Japan Strong has a little bit of a history, and it wasn't just like a flash in the pan. Even though if you think about it now, it kind of is, but it has history, it has lore, so that needs its own section away from the Forbidden Door. However, I will say that like ever since Mercedes Moné left WWE, like you could tell that WWE has a good way of hiding people's weaknesses, and basically Mercedes Moné, now you see her weaknesses when it comes to wrestling and when it comes to negotiations. Like why the hell she needed 9 belts? All those promotions didn't even get a boost just based on her name and her fucking resume. But as you can tell, she is going to be the crutch that Tony Khan relies on when he can't find a wild card. You're telling me that the wild card has to be someone sitting at home who's recovering and then comes back all of a sudden, and it can't be like, another woman wrestler out there that's like looking for a chance to be on television. Mercedes Moné could come back at any time that she wants to, and it doesn't have to be in like a championship match. It doesn't have to be in a tournament. Her name alone basically carries weight But it doesn't. But did Tony Khan bring her back just because nobody was watching the Owen Cup or wanted to make it exciting? Like, it makes no sense for her to be there unless she told Tony Khan, "Hey, I'll only come back if I fight Maya World to put her over to showcase the women's wrestling more." Because that could have been an option too. But I don't really care for this match at all. Obviously, no shade to Maya World because I haven't really watched any of her matches. So like no criticism to her. It's mainly for just Mercedes Moné coming back out of the blue. But maybe it does do a good thing on the show. But who knows, man? Like, but yeah, you don't have to concern yourself with like Mercedes Moné going over to Stardom and winning belts and all that kind of shit. It was fucking stupid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a follow up to that, Marie.
Yeah, go ahead, Hoss. Because
okay.
Go ahead, Hoss. Go ahead.
Okay, because I think Maya World should win. And my thing is, I think Tony Khan should be building a new star, and everybody be like, well, because of the circumstances, neither here or there. The thing about it is, everybody says Maya World shouldn't win because she wouldn't be a money match for Wembley. So here's my question, Marie: with Mercedes Moné, how big of a draw was she really in New Japan? Did she really push a lot more ticket sales? Did she listen? Did she push a lot more subscriptions for people?
That's a good question.
Nope. Nope. It really was like the most cringiest shit that she did in New Japan and Stardom. The cringiest shit, and basically it was just Stardom. Like how you gonna take an inflated guitar, right, and doing like my you sucks, blah 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 blah.
CEO,
like why?
CEO.
Like yeah, it was fucking cringe. Like nobody pulled her to the side to be like, you are Mercedes Moné. Act like Mercedes Moné. Stop acting like a little girl and be Mercedes Moné. Walk in there with the fucking confidence that you had as Sasha Banks in WWE, regardless of what the fuck happened behind the scenes. Like the Sasha Banks at WWE had this confidence where you're like, oh, I don't like her, but I'm going to keep an eye on her to see what she does, which is like a good thing. It's like a 50-50 good thing. But now that, when she went over to Stardom, it's like you're doing a little concert. You think you're The Rock? You think you're Joe Hendry and shit like that to do actual entertainment. And by the way, the Japanese crowd was not reacting to her at all. Like it really wasn't like there was no reaction. I remember that like she didn't really get merchandise lines because sometimes the social media, whoever runs the social media accounts would be like, oh, they're doing a signing, like a meet and greet. Like they'll let people know and they'll put it on social media. But I never really saw one for like Mercedes Moné. So like I don't know, but I could bet you she didn't really push tickets and there's a reason why she was only there for like a short amount of time and she act like she's like big and bad and shit over there, and it's like you probably are, but not really. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, she probably thinks she comes in with that name value, so I don't think any of these promoters are telling her what to do. They're going to do everything they can to make sure she's they're on her good side.
Which is true. However,
they're not going to pull Mercedes aside and say, "Don't go out and do this." She'll say, "I'll do whatever the fuck I want. Otherwise, I'm not going to be here."
Because I'm telling you,
well,
people.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Marie. You go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to mention that, but like, if you are a promoter out there and you have a specific vision, right? Sometimes how you approach the situation, obviously if you're going to be like, no, Mercedes, you can't do that. Obviously you're in the wrong. You shouldn't do that. But if you have a conversation and you're like, hey, I want you to face this person. This is what I have for, the match per se, and like how, sort of to act a little bit, but you compromise with the person to be like, hey, I want to keep your character strong. I want to keep my character strong. Just try to avoid this, try to avoid that, but do this or whatever. Like if you have a vision, don't be afraid to tell these wrestlers like the vision that you have for the promotion and the vision that you have for the wrestlers to make them both look like $1 million, because again, it's all showmanship. But the moment that a promoter is like, no, you ain't gonna do that, like giving you like some friction and like some sass and being like, no, then you could be like, oh, I'm never working for this person again. But if they have a vision, they obviously called you because they have you part of their vision, act accordingly.
So
yeah, I agree. Go ahead, Hoss.
My whole thing is like everybody's talking about, oh, Mercedes is gonna be pushing these big ticket sales from Wembley.
No.
Because when I say Maya World should go over, they say, oh, Maya World and Tekla is not a money match. And I'm this is not a sexist thing I'm about to say. With wrestling fans today, they don't treat women's wrestling as money matches today. Is that a fair observation?
I think so.
That's fair.
Okay.
Unless you're Rhea Ripley.
I didn't want to come off sounding bad and whatnot. So
no, you're good, man.
You got to have the hot hand go into Wembley. It doesn't have to be Mercedes. It doesn't have to be Toni Storm. If you have built a woman character to be strong at this point, because a lot of people are behind Maya World because of the tragedy that happened in her life, and she's actually a good wrestler. So you ride this wave. Does Tony Khan do it? I don't know, but all this Mercedes is a big draw to sell Wembley tickets, and it's going to be 80,000, and she's going to push 20,000 ticket sales because she's there. It's not real. It's not real.
The match that's the draw is Athena versus Mercedes, and this is strictly Tony Khan, in my opinion, being a good man, being a good dude. You know, what happened with your brother happened. Yada yada. I'm gonna put you out there. By the way, none of these two women were even originally in this tournament. They're both replacements. The match that we want to see, at least for me, is Athena and Mercedes. I'm at the point now where obviously Mercedes is the more over star, but I was listening earlier today to somebody, and I don't mind. I'm just gonna say it. Dude, pull the trigger on Maya World at this point, because you did. And I said this to Hoss 2 weeks ago on our Dynamite review. Hoss, I told you, why can't we just have Mercedes lose or Athena win the Owen? This is before I knew the spoiler for Collision that Wednesday. Why didn't we? They just do Athena win the Owen, have Mercedes. This company just does shit. Have redemption be Tekla versus Mercedes for the AEW Women's World Title. You have Mercedes win the championship. You have Athena guaranteeing her match at Wembley. That's the match. Part 3. These two ladies had a banger on last year's. It was that anniversary show for Dynamite. Dynamite has not felt fun ever since, and they had a great match. We want to see this again. Why Mercedes does not need to win this tournament if she wants to win the AEW World Title. Hoss, that's why I told you this 2 weeks ago, and Marie, that's why I told him 2 weeks ago. You could have just done that. That's the match at Wembley that people really want to see. At this point, go with Maya World and see where she goes. I could give a shit.
There's something backstage, like it's either because I said either Tony Khan has an agreement with Athena with her crew, or there's something backstage where he doesn't trust her to be at the front of the card for women. It's one of the two. I don't know what it is, but it's just a weird circumstance. Like you just keep her in ROH. And
again, I can go. I went on a rant about that last week. It's ridiculous.
I do want to add on too, just to make sure the Owen Cup, it guarantees a title shot, right?
Correct. It all is.
Correct. They implicated that last year because when they first did the Owen, they had Adam Cole and Britt Baker, the couples winning.
Yeah.
It meant jack shit. It was one of those crown jewel tournaments where they put the trophy on the shelf life. So now last year they implicated that. So yes, the winner gets the championship match at Wembley.
So we could also look at this too as lazy ass fucking booking, because why? Because AEW doesn't like the storytelling to be done properly, because Mercedes Moné just came back, and yes, we agree that like she is a big name. So technically she doesn't have to go through a storytelling grueling, event to get her rematch. This is the easy way out, and this is how people cut the line in order to get a championship match. Because while yes, AEW should be building new stars, like I said, I have not seen Maya World wrestle, but because she is the hot name and she has this little bit of momentum and traction towards her name, why not just have her win and then have this feud with Mercedes Moné for a little bit to build her up, because Mercedes is the name, the supposed draw for this kayfabe thing that I'm trying to just flesh out here. Why not just do that? So that way you don't tell the audience indirectly that Mercedes Moné could cut the line at any time to go get a world title shot, and we know that she's gonna win. And the sickles could get mad at us all they want for that, but it's so predictable. The same way that the AEW sickles are like, WWE is so predictable. Well, AEW is predictable by having Mercedes Moné come out, cut the line, and is in the finals and facing Maya Ward, and we know she's gonna win. When I saw that she was the wild card, I was like, oh yeah, she's winning.
Of course.
I don't even have to watch the show, and I'm like, yeah, of course, she's winning.
Hoss, she's right. We said that exact same thing.
Correct.
On that Dynamite review when she came back. So I agree. We're gonna these two ones right here because I'm saving the juicy one for last.
Okay.
Owen, the male Owen, Ospreay versus Swerve. This what else do I have to say other than since the moment this tournament bracket was announced, it was a clear as hell that this was going to be the finals and that Ospreay is going to win. The only I don't again I like to see the match again. The build, I've complained about it over the last few weeks on Wednesdays. It is atrocious. There's so much that they've left out, but they're doing the match this Sunday. I got Ospreay. Hoss, what do you think about this match? Who do you got? It's pretty clear as day at this point.
Yeah.
We've been talking about this for the last month.
I'm here for the aftermath. Ospreay's going over.
Yep, that's what I'm here for.
But like I told you like 2 weeks ago, I want a double turn. I want Ospreay to go full heel with the Death Riders, and Swerve can go back to being a face because Swerve as a heel say he wants all the power and most dangerous, and he takes so many jobs saying he's the most dangerous, doesn't make any damn sense. And Will Ospreay up here moonlighting with the Death Riders, and they get to be character ambiguous. That's the best way I can say it.
Ooh, they get that's nice.
Yeah, they get to be what they want to be. They get to be heels today, faces
yeah, it's annoying.
So yeah, just go ahead, Tony Khan. Go back to being heels. Go back to choking people out with plastic bags. Have Will Ospreay throw the double birds in England and say F the Queen. Yeah, go all the way with it. And then because you're gonna put the belt on Kenny Omega anyway. Go for it. We got
I don't like when you say that. I don't like when you say that.
It's coming, Chris.
I've told you this every time. Every time you've mentioned that, I don't like when you say that. Kenny,
listen, one more time before Kenny Omega retires, right? One more time before he retires.
Stop. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't want it. I don't want that to happen. Because I don't want to go on another rant like I did last night. But if we get that match official, they could have just gave it to him at Dynasty. There's no need.
Listen, man.
Oh, so you're scaring me.
I'm telling you, it's happening, bro. Why do you think he keeps saying redemption?
Stop. I brought that up to you yesterday, and I quickly shut that shit down. I brought it up yesterday, and I quickly shut that shit down because I don't even want to think about it. And then I listened to JD earlier, and he brought it up. I was like, stop.
Well, I just quickly want to say that I am so over Swerve and Ospreay. I'm so over these two guys. These two guys have these guys have overexposed themselves so much that I'm like, you guys got to stop. You guys need like 6 months off of TV, and I think we'll be good. Also, I don't care who wins. However, I do want to bring up Haas's point of if we do. Well, if AEW does, because us, I think we'll do it. But if AEW does turn Ospreay heel, right? What does that mean for the United Empire when he does the storylines over in New Japan Pro Wrestling with the United Empire and Callum Newman? Because Callum Newman right now is a chicken shit heel who's no longer the IWGP champion.
That is a question for you to answer.
So in your mind, like, how would you go about booking it? Chris, I know I'm with you there, but I just wanted to bring it up because we also have to remember that whatever happens in AEW, it might go over to New Japan Pro Wrestling with Will Ospreay being the with the United Empire. So if Haas is going to propose a really good idea of Ospreay turning heel, right? Does he also turn heel within the United Empire group?
Shouldn't the United Empire appear? So okay, what I would do is I would have Ospreay win. I would turn Ospreay heel after he beats Swerve, and I would have the United Empire come out, and then they can settle. He can make it something like he can make a decision right there. and then or whatever the United Empire comes to him, and then something. I don't know.
See,
are we going to have
because or have him choose? I don't know. I'm thinking
which he should have been choose.
You're
good, man. Don't listen. relax. You're good. We're just thinking out loud.
It's because no. Listen, because it's I really like Will Ospreay. I'm one of few people who really
yeah. I know.
And I'm tired of his booking not making sense since he's came back.
Yes, I agree.
That's why I get very heated when I talk about this lame stuff. What's up, Universal? Thank you for joining us here on a Thursday. Also, shout out to Tony. I also want to give a shout out to Tony. I saw you earlier in the comments, brother. We did not forget about you. Heels turning's not happening over. Yeah, I mean, I think it would make interesting TV, but yes. But the reason why I get so hot about it, again, I'm a big Ospreay fan. I want his booking to make sense because I think there's something there with him in AEW, and I think the sickos feel the same way too. This is a forbidden door. Now, I know we have not seen the United Empire in a few weeks. Just have the United Empire come out there. Have Will Ospreay win, him turn heel, Death Riders come out, yada, yada, and swip the Haas. I would even swip the, swip it around with the Death Riders. I'd make them full-on faces.
No.
Oh, okay.
You don't think so?
Wait, hold on. What? Keep going. You make them full-on faces.
I would make them full-on faces and just... we see it doesn't. I want to say have some type of Death Riders United Empire, but they should have done that at what was it? They were already doing this near like Double or Nothing, so that should have been like the anarchy of the arena. It's the kind of
it should have been, but
that story's too late. But that'd be the only way I do
it. I just want a Death Rider. What's the best word? Implosion.
I was just gonna say.
Okay. Yeah, I do too. I do too.
Like none of this face talk. Like no, we are done with Death Riders. We're done. We're riding with life. No more death riding.
Yeah, okay, I agree with that too. But see, these are the booking decisions and questions that nobody is thinking about, and nobody is pulling over Tony Khan and like Ospreay and like the New Japan management of Tanahashi and Gato, because to my understanding, Gato is still the booker of New Japan Pro Wrestling, and you might have like Rocky Romero in there too, but no one is pulling these guys aside or creating a group chat to be like, hey, what you gonna do with Ospreay and this and that, and like no, it seems like nobody talks to each other, but apparently wrestlers have to figure it out. No, this is why like WWE is the longest running episodic TV show we have in like 2026, because they don't say, hey, wrestler, figure it out. If you want to survive in the cable game, in the streaming game of like episodic TV shows, you got to be like, hey, wrestler, we got to talk about your booking and we got to do this. You may not like it, but this is what we're going to do for it to make sense. You can't have wrestlers like Ospreay and like the rest of the guys figure it out on their own, because we got the Death Riders. It's point blank. But yeah, these are just things to think about that like the fans don't think about, Tony Khan don't think about, and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But I think Will Ospreay is gonna win it. Will Ospreay is gonna win it. And we'll see what happens after that. I'm there for the aftermath. Real quick, I'm gonna answer this one too, and then we'll end with the juicy one here because I think we'll know why. And the steel cage match. We already got this last week with a 12-man tag match. It's going to be 12 guys in one ring. MJF and the Don Callis family, Okada, Fletcher, Kevin Knight, Andrade, and Jake Doyle versus Cassidy, Roger Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, Takeshita, Mark Briscoe, and Darby Allin. The real story here is between MJF and Mark Briscoe. Hoss, we saw this already on Wednesday. Why do I want to see this again Thursday or on Sunday night? Who do you think's going to win? Why? What do you think's going to happen? Give me the rundown.
Team Briscoe is going to win because you're going to get Mark Briscoe versus MJF probably at a beach break or some Dynamite like that. Yep. Andrade is going to get pinned. it's going to be Andrade or MJF.
No, he's right. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Really?
Yep.
It sounds so random though. When you said it, I was like, what?
Andrade is there's been ongoing tension for the last few months, tease and untease.
Oh my god,
Andrade and MJF.
Yeah, so Andrade is going to get pinned, and
that's
we're going to see. No, the biggest thing is it's going to be a problem dimensionally, because if they're just going to have one cage with 12 men, how's that going to work?
It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
Now, if you're going to have the blood and guts double cage, fine, that's cool. But one cage, I saw the one cage with Samoa Joe and Hangman. They looked big in there, and it was just two people. So you're gonna tell me 12 full-grown ass men?
I don't know,
be
bro.
In this cage? I don't see
it. Can't. And that's where they need to just label it a blood and guts match. We're gonna get blood and guts during Survivor Series. If Survivor Series does War Games this year, they're doing blood and guts that in November. Blood and guts is already supposed to be done, but they changed it to compete a little bit with Survivor Series. So, in my opinion, I don't know, Hoss. I think we might just get one ring. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, we're probably gonna get one.
And
ring.
You guys, what's gonna be stupid? I guarantee you, it's gonna be a lot of out. They're gonna use the steel cage as a prop, meaning where everyone you're gonna have half the guys wrestling in the arena, half the guys wrestling outside the cage, and they're gonna use the cages to maybe throw Darby Allin off or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Marie, what do you got? What do you got on this? Because the next one is really going to be the last match we preview is really going to be up your alley.
So
and I'm going to go
basically
off.
Okay, that's fine. So I don't like the fact that we're doing a really multi-man match into a steel cage where everyone is all in there, and if Team Briscoe wins, he gets his AEW World Championship match against MJF. That is so fucking stupid. Because that should not be that. Just I don't know, man. Like I honestly don't know.
Can I tell you something that also doesn't make sense?
Go ahead.
Mark Briscoe. October of 2025. They had a pay-per-view All Out Toronto. It was Mark Briscoe versus MJF in a non-title match. Mark Briscoe pinned MJF cleanly. And the booking is now Mark Briscoe has to go through all these hurdles and obstacles to get a title shot at MJF. He should already have the championship match against MJF.
He should. However, where did we first discover that? Cody Rhodes versus MJF. MJF just repeats every single fucking booking story he's ever been in, except for he can never replicate the CM Punk booking, but he could always replicate the Cody Rhodes booking. And MJF is another one that's like overexposed too. And I'm like, bro, you need time off from everything.
See, the thing is,
I just don't like this.
They can't right now.
I know.
I am agreeing with you, because I think if MJF goes away for a while, but my thing is he's getting to the point now, in my opinion, where there's not going to be much left for him to do.
Yeah.
The show sucks without him. When he's not on, the shows are bad. They've been bad with him on. But when he's not on, holy shit, does this show take a massive dip in interest.
Yeah, so basically I hope that Team Briscoe does win, and Mark Briscoe eventually gets crowned as the new AEW World Champion. But I do feel bad for Mark Briscoe, like no matter what, after his brother tragically passed, and then he's like still wrestling and whatnot, and still in AEW, and they're still like making him look like shit, in a way. But I really do hope that Mark Briscoe ends up getting the AEW World Championship title, and then he could do whatever he wants. MJF needs a fucking long break from professional wrestling just to heal everything, just so that way he's not frustrated with fans and just says a bunch of stupid ass shit. Like, stop tweeting. The same thing with like all the rest of the AEW guys. Get off your fucking phone. But yeah, that's all I had to say about a stupid ass 10 to 12 man cage
12
match.
man steel cage match. I agree. Hoss, final words on the steel cage match before we dive into to what I wanted to save for last.
It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know how they're gonna make it work. It's an awful idea.
I agree.
It's terrible. Yeah,
it's an injury scene waiting to happen.
Let's just move on.
Let's just scumbag. Scumbaggy indeed. All right, guys, we're gonna get into the last match of the card. Again, I want to thank everybody here for watching us on a Thursday. I want to thank Haas Marie for joining on a Thursday. This has been fun. We got one more match to talk about here. Make sure you guys, again, we got a busy week this weekend with professional wrestling, Night of Champions, Slammiversary, Great American Bash, and Forbidden Door. So we will have stuff out there. Make sure you guys check all that stuff out in the next upcoming days. It's gonna be a fun weekend here. Marie Shadows, what do you got going on over at the Squared Circle podcast and the tape studies? You doing any of those coming up you want to talk about?
No, I am still gonna be on bed rest. Okay. So this is basic. This was basically my chance to share and talk about wrestling, just take my mind off of shit. But I am going to be on bed rest for whenever. I'll tell you guys when I'm back. You guys will know on my socials, especially on Instagram and whatnot. I'll still be causing trouble if I want to, but no full blown podcast episodes at the moment, or even tape study until I am fully healed and not on bed rest.
There you go. You guys heard it from her herself. And again, we do appreciate you joining us here today. I hope this has been fun for you. Hope, again,
it's been fantastic.
Your mind off stuff and all that stuff. That's what we're here for. So let's talk about something I'm not going to be there for. And I'm happy I'm not. And that's Kenny Omega versus Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh, my God.
I wanted to cover two big names. Okay. Big name for AEW. I guess a big name for New Japan, quote unquote, in the wrestling business. Yes, never am I ever going to go onto the middle of the streets and say, Zack Sabre Jr.
Goat.
Everyone's going to look at me like, who the fuck are you talking to? Like, they're going to
think about the GOAT. The GOAT.
Oh, no, Kenny Omega, the god of pro wrestling. Give me a fucking break. We got this match. Now, I say this for last because this does feel like the most for Tekla and Starlight Kid is a very good other example, but Kenny Omega and Zack Sabre Jr. This feels like a forbidden door. Now,
yeah,
Haas, you said something yesterday that Zack Sabre Jr. made Kenny Omega look good. That is not good. That says a lot about Zack Sabre Jr. that he is boring as shit. I rather sit here and watch.
He is
paint dry. I rather watch Io Sky do this 100 times. I rather watch The Vision I don't know. There's so many other things in wrestling that are overdone that I would rather listen to or watch than Zack Sabre Jr. do anything. Now when it comes to his technical wrestling, he's fine. I just don't like Marine because I had the same problem with Orange Cassidy, and I'm going to have the same problem with Zack Sabre Jr. When they're on the ground like this, they're staring at each other, and and they sell it like it's just this big hit. Let me grab your fingers and like it is phony. It is ridiculous. I think this match is going to be. It should be fun. Now, Marie, I'm going to throw this to you first. This is way up your alley.
Okay.
Give me a little bit of something because was it in 2018 or 2019? Didn't these two have a match?
The internet told me it was 2018, and I believe this was they were facing at the G1.
I thought
they haven't.
Okay, so I thought it was at Wrestle Kingdom.
No, I believe from my quick little just scrolling online, it should have been the G1. Okay. So basically this is like I don't know. I don't want to call it a rematch, but maybe a revisit from a 2018 match. Okay.
So what do you think about this? Tell me a little bit about Zack Sabre Jr. Is there history with him and Kenny Omega? What's the point of this match?
It's probably just that because all of the Zack Sabre Jr. matches that I have reviewed are basically him being a tag team partner. He's a very good tag team wrestler. When it comes to his single matches, they're good technically, but because I've seen so much of his shit that I'm like, bro, can you please stop? I am going to predict this now because I know he's gonna fucking do this shit in the match. So you guys better look out for it. For some reason, he has this supposed, I don't know how true it is, but the supposed floating rib injury that every time that like he's facing a big guy or whatever, he will just hold his side, like where his ribs are at, and be like, "Oh my God, I can't move, I can't do anything or whatnot." And then the referee will come and be like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm okay." And he still wrestles with this supposed floating ass rib, and then still somehow manages to win. I don't fucking get it. But you'll see that in the match because he's done it so many times that I'm like, bro, stop fucking doing this shit. Anyway, he's a good tag team wrestler. His former tag team partners with Tai Chi, they had phenomenal tag team matches, especially with the Gorillas of Destiny, aka Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. Fucking great matches. A great story. He could tell a really good story along with his tag team partner, but as a singles wrestler, no. So just expect Zack Sabre Jr. and Kenny Omega to have a really good match that could maybe wow you. I don't expect too much going into it because I think after Kenny gets the world title, he should retire. That's it. Just based on like him going through his medical shit and whatnot, like, bro, you have nothing else to prove. Other than that, it's gonna be a regular straight up match. You're gonna get Zack Sabre Jr., with the fingers and everything. He's gonna be a little cheeky. He's gonna be a little pisser of like being an Englishman. Like you're gonna get all like the, I don't want to say flavors of Zack Sabre Jr., but you get what I mean. But it's gonna be one of those that are like you like it or you don't like it. And if you don't like it, that's totally okay too. Oh, and by the way, one of the clips you accidentally said TDMK. And it's TMDK, that stands for The Mighty Don't Kneel, with Shane Haste and his tag team partner. I forgot his fucking name, but it's The Mighty Don't Kneel.
Okay, because I know Haas. What did you say yesterday? The men don't kneel.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And then I looked it up, and I was like, The Mighty All Kneel. I was like, Haas, I think yours sounds cooler.
They don't kneel, but they bob.
Oh, they definitely kneel. They kneel. They kneel on both knees. We know that.
Oh my God. But yeah, it's the Mighty Don't Kneel. They're from Australia, I believe. I think one of them is from Australia. They're really good tag team.
They had a match against the Young Bucks yesterday.
Yeah.
Bob down under.
Yeah, they weren't. We'll see what they got, but I'm not gonna get a good impression off that.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to expect. I would say just keep your expectations decent. And I think I say that because I watched so much Kenny Omega matches and so many Zack Sabre Jr. matches. And by the way, Zack Sabre Jr. did face Jeff Cobb. And every time I was reviewing those matches, they got me so upset because Jeff Cobb is a big ass guy. This guy could sit on you and win the match. You're telling me that Zack Sabre Jr. can win the match and then Jeff Cobb is walking out upset, and then Zack Sabre Jr. is acting like he's dying. Listen, his shit doesn't make any sense. But yeah, that's what you can expect from a Zack Sabre Jr. match and a Kenny Omega match, I guess. I don't know.
I'm ready. Hoss, what do you? Yeah, no, I look. It should be a sicko classic.
This is going to be a bone toss to New Japan. I got Zack Sabre for the win. I believe he's gonna make Kenny Omega tap because Kenny Omega keeps talking about redemption. What's the best redemption you can get than losing to New Japan at Forbidden Door? See, you see that? Because the inverse of this is if Kenny Omega wins, he gets a title shot for the AEW title. Make that make sense. This whole match. Yeah, because we're gonna use this redemption word he keeps using. If he beats Zack Sabre Jr., he's gonna get a hot shot for a title shot against MJF. So
that makes no sense.
It doesn't.
I guess his redemption is MJF.
Again, this makes no sense. So
I agree.
Yeah.
The AEW logic.
Exactly. So give me Zack Sabre Jr. with a strong abdominal stretch to the stomach of Kenny Omega, and he just shakes his head. He gives you a nice John Cena tap, just nice tap.
I will say this though, that Zack Sabre Jr. has nothing going on in New Japan Pro Wrestling at this very moment. He's not holding a title. He's not in any of the storylines. He actually took a break, which is a good thing for him. But he has nothing going on. If he had like some sort of title, then like Kenny Omega could have been like, well, if I beat you, I get to challenge you for that title the next time I'm over in like Japan or something, which will be, making sense. But, it's AEW. They don't do that shit.
Preach. Well, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
That has been your AEW Forbidden Door preview. I'm just going to give final thoughts here. Banzai! Closing thoughts here, then I'm here over and we'll say goodbye. I mean, look, Sunday is gonna be a lot of pro wrestling. I think the sickos they're gonna watch this no matter what. Me personally, I'm gonna watch it. I mean, I'm gonna fucking cover it with Haas. So we gotta watch this stuff. But I'm excited for the men's Owen and a few matches now that Marie gave us a lot of insight on who some of these people are. Now looking forward to Starlight Kid and Tekla. Zack Sabre Jr. and Kenny should be a good match. And there was one more that Maya World versus Mercedes, just to see what's gonna happen. With Unamo and Pac, I'm gonna hate watch that match. I'll be honest. I'm gonna hate watch that match for Unamo, but no, it's going to be a decent show again. Thank you, Marie Shadows, for giving us the insight here. This was a good preview. There you go. Clap it up for Marie Shadows one time. We are going to, again, we'll be back this weekend with some other stuff. Guys, that's all I got. Hoss, I'm going to give you the final thoughts here, closing statements for today's show. What are you excited about on Sunday?
Since we're not going to have a Saturday show, people, I'm going to go ahead and give you your wellness check right now.
Oh, God, here we go. Let's go.
Make sure you wash your ass before you get to watching wrestling on Saturday and Sunday. Go exercise and go make you some money before you go give all your time to the Graps. The Hoss loves you. He cares about your wellness, your hygiene, and your pockets. So, yes, let's have fun this weekend. And your friend Hoss will be shooting bourbon while watching this, so enjoy yourself. Be safe out there.
Marie Shadows, final thoughts here. Thank you again for coming on. What are you excited to? Are you going to be watching anything Sunday? What shows are you looking forward to? No? You're not looking? No wrestling this weekend?
I'll definitely watch whatever like WWE is doing and stuff like that, whatever AAA is doing, but I'm not going to be watching the AEW New Japan Forbidden Door show because I just can't stomach it. It doesn't make any fucking sense. However, but I will say this though, that like do not sleep on Starlight Kid. She is fucking fantastic. Thekla is doing a fantastic job staying above the water while everyone else is drowning. Shota Umino, do not sleep on him either. He's a really good wrestler. It's just his booking bothers the fuck out of me, and I'm like, poor dude, man. Also, with Gabe Kid's like freaking personal jabs of like, I think he mentioned about like how his dad like was getting him like all these bookings and whatnot. Like, see, this is why I wanted to make that fucking video, being like, bro, if you're gonna name drop people, fucking name drop them.
With more news,
you did that. You did that before, man. Like, but the money changes everybody. Let me not go off on a tangent because we gotta wrap this up. But do not sleep on Shota Umino. Shota Umino is a very good wrestler. Enjoy the Zack Sabre Jr. versus Kenny Omega match. Not many wrestlers out there still do technical wrestling and stuff like that, and make it make sense unless we get Danielson back in the action. Yeah. Overall, like, obviously, I guess the stickers are going to be like, oh, this is a great pay-per-view and whatnot. They're going to be like, oh, it's better than this and better than that. Like, just go enjoy it and let the professionals like us break it down and analyze it, because we have a lot more insight than you guys do. If you enjoy it as a fan, enjoy it as a fan. But don't come after us to be like, why are you not a fan like us? Because we have standards. You don't have standards. Yeah, I'm basically giving like everybody like shots, man. But yeah, you guys don't have standards. We have standards. Other than that, enjoy all the wrestling there is. I'm gonna be here at home watching it as much as I can, and I just want to give a shout out to the hat that I'm wearing, if you guys believe in the message of that content creation and like whatever else you do in your life is a marathon and not a sprint, where basically if it's a sprint, you might end up falling faster and hitting rock bottom than a marathon, because we all want longevity in this content creation game. So if you believe in a marathon over a sprint, I do have this in my merch store. But yeah, enjoy wrestling.
Enjoy wrestling. We will make sure we get everything linked in the description. Again, you guys can follow Marie Shadows on Instagram at marieshadows.SCP, which stands for Squirrel Circle Podcast. And you guys can check her out when she's back and active. Me and Hoss are going to say goodnight. We'll see you guys here for the Forbidden Door preview. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much. From PGH Chris TV, Hoss Knuckle Brew, Marie Shadows, and our producer, man, our founder, Kev. Have a good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for checking us out.